Get ready for the Dirt Life Show with your host, George Hamill.
Welcome to episode 130 of the Dirt Life Show. Thank you guys very much for joining us on this fabulous Monday night, May 23rd, 2022. Man, we're at Four Wheel Parts in Riverside, California. It's going to be an awesome show for you guys tonight. We are going to talk a ton about off-road stuff. We're going to dip into something, too, that's a little bit new to me and new to the guy that's to my left. We're going to talk about some overlanding stuff, but I'd like to welcome our featured guest for tonight. First, I'd like to thank the guys at Four Wheel Parts for allowing us to come here. But a guy that's been in off-road for a long time. He was a racer himself. Also has been supporting the industry for a long time, helping out, worked with some numerous companies in the industry, and now owns his own company called Pro Eagle Jacks. It's I guess you want to call it a revolutionary product for the off-road world. So I'd like to welcome Chuck Foreman to the show. What's up, bud?
Thank you, sir. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's going to be cool, man. We're going to talk about a lot of fun stuff today. One of the things I was going to talk to you about first, though, is, man, you've been working hard, hustling. You literally just drove back to California today.
That's true. I got up at 3 a.m. so I could make sure that I was here on time for the show today. So left Flagstaff, Arizona, where we had the Overland Expo. So I was there Thursday, set up Wednesday. Wednesday, set up Thursday, and then show was Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Dang, dude, that's a lot of stuff. Thanks everybody for joining us. Troy Adams, appreciate the comment already. We love all the stuff that you guys do as well. So I'm Georgie Hamill. This is the Dirt Life Show. We're going to have a great show tonight. Please always share the show. There's a little envelope or paper airplane kind of thing on the bottom of your guys' Instagram screen. You guys can hit that button, share it with all your friends, man, because it helps us, it helps our guests, it helps the people that support us. So really do everything that you guys can. Sundance 67, what's up? We really appreciate you guys tuning in. Man, all you guys that have questions too, do as much as you possibly can to ask us questions tonight. Chuck is an open book. He can answer all the questions for the jack. You can see one of the products right behind us here. What's that jack called that's behind us? Right
that one is the 3-ton Kratos.
Kratos?
Yeah. And then this is our trail kit. So it's a jack, power tank, and then a Pelican vault case.
Okay, cool. So ask all your questions about all that stuff. Any of the questions that you guys have, Chuck will answer them. And tell us what kind of stories you guys have about the jacks as well. We're interested to hear that too. We're even thinking about taking some of the audio clips and maybe sharing them on social media too, if you guys have a funny story or anything that you did. Like maybe you're in Baja and you needed a jack and somebody showed up with a Pro Eagle and helped you guys out. So it'd be cool. We have a bunch of people that are going to join us tonight too. All of you guys as well. Blake Wilkey is going to call in or Instagram in live with us at 5:15. So that'll be cool to talk to Blake. And, man, you've been working with Blake for a long time, haven't you, Chuck?
Yeah. He was actually using the jacks for a long time before he even reached out to me. And he was one of the guys that just believed in the product so much that he was buying it on his own. And he's still, I help him out every once in a while, but he's got more jacks than I've given him because he purchased them. So.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, for him to support you too, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So it goes both ways. Steve Bouchard of Rugged Radio is going to call in around 6:10-ish. That'll be cool to talk with him. I spoke with him a little bit earlier today, and they were saying, I think he told you the same thing too, that Destination with Polaris was at Rugged, so we might get a couple random guests pop into the show too.
Yeah, they're building a Polaris General to give away to a fire department up in Northern California.
Whoa, look at that. Cool. Giving back, too. What's up, Justin Park? And then Russ from Buggy Whips, dude. That's going to be cool to talk with him. He's a bundle of energy, so to speak, right? He's just like such a good guy.
That's an understatement. Bundle of energy for sure. He is a character.
And so we got a bunch of cool people that we're going to talk with tonight. It'll be interesting to see what kind of questions that you guys have for Chuck and the products and stuff like that. The guys from X Travel just joined. What's up, James? Nestor, how are you guys? So please, always share the show like I said before. You can always check us out live on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube on Monday nights. And anytime you want, like if you're driving down the road, hit us up on iTunes, Spotify, all those different networks, Google Music, all the audio networks. You can hit us up on those anytime. Please share the show, like I said before. Tell your friends about it, and get interactive with us. You can always hit us up on social media at The Dirt Life Show. We're usually trying to get back to as many messages as possible. I know Chuck tries to get back to as many messages as he possibly can too. Sometimes it's hard, but we try to interact with as many people as possible. Let's see here. Oh, and I want to thank all of our sponsors too. So thank you to the guys over at KMC Wheels. Got some of this fresh KMC merch here. You guys can go to wheelmerch.com, or you guys can go down to your local 4-Wheel Parts and get some KMC wheels like these grenades right here behind me. And then if you guys are watching on Facebook and YouTube, you can see in the wide angle there's some fuel and some KMC wheels behind us here that are pretty fresh too. So go check those out. Those guys are doing a fantastic job. Been a supporter of the show since day one, so we really appreciate it. Thanks to the guys over at Motul. Later this week, maybe even tomorrow, we're going to release some information on their new collaboration with Evolution Power Sports, and that's just the oil change kits, and you can buy them from Evolution Power Sports or any of the dealers like excuse me, IMG Motorsports. They got all the kits in stock too, so pick the Polaris kit, and then you'll have all the top quality products to get for your UTV too. Thanks to the guys over at Shock Therapy. You can use the code DIRTLIFE at shocktherapist.com and get yourself some limit straps, a steering rack, a BSD kit, anything like that. Thanks to the guys over at JL Audio. Hopefully this year we'll have some cool stuff happening with those guys on a Razor Pro R build that we're going to try to do. So give us your suggestions and tell us what you think of those Razor Pro Rs too. Thank you to the guys at Evolution Power Sports. Like I said, you can get those Motul Evolution Power Sports oil change kits. They have a code shooter device that you can update and tune your vehicle, your side-by-side, straight from your cell phone. So that's pretty cool, man, to get some power straight from your cell phone. Hit up them and get an exhaust that you can add to that tune. Thanks to the guys over at Zollinger Racing Products. You can use the code TheDirtLife at ZollingerRacingProducts.com. Get yourself some tie rods, some radius rods. Thanks to the guys over at Vision Canopies. Have you seen those? What those guys do, man?
I have. Yeah, it's really good stuff. He's racing with KDV now, right?
Yeah, totally. Yeah. So we're gonna actually have a show with them hopefully next week. So that'll be cool to talk with Kyle at Vision Canopies, see what those guys are doing in the industry. He actually won at the Great American Short Course Race in the turbo class in the UTV. So that was cool. And thank you, Josh, and all the guys over at Cryo Heat for always being such great innovators in the world of horsepower. You can get a Pro Mod transmission over there and save a whole bunch of weight for your transmission. Less rolling resistance in these UTVs makes way more power. So thank you to the guys over at Cryo Heat for always supporting the show. All right, well, let's get into it, dude. So how did you get into off-road in general? Did you grow up in it?
Yeah, I grew up in it. My dad raced since I was 2 or 3 years old. The owner of the dealership, the GMC dealership where he worked, raced off-road. So he started going to the races to help out, and then eventually worked his way up into the car and was a co-driver, and then eventually started his own gig and racing his own car.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Dang, so it happened pretty quickly then, or is this over a span of years?
It's a span of quite a few years, yeah. But it was, I was definitely a toddler and don't remember a whole lot of that stuff at that time. So.
But growing up in it, it's just like a natural progression, I guess, right?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, though, that you had the opportunity to do that. Where did you live at the time?
Fontana, California.
Oh, so just right up the road from Riverside here.
Yep.
Oh, that's cool, man. Andy McMillan joined. What's up, dude? BK2 Baja. We really appreciate it. Man, we're already getting a comment. Where are you broadcasting from today? So Toy Breaker, we are broadcasting. Oh, there you go. On Instagram and YouTube. So I don't even know how he's doing that on the phone. He's switching apps. We're broadcasting for 4-Wheel Parts in Riverside, California, man. You can see all the stuff behind us. It's cool that these guys let us come in and mess up all their space, but it's awesome to see the customers, their questions. I actually, Chuck, the last time I was at 4-Wheel Parts in Temecula, somebody asked about a Pro Eagle Jack, and guess what happened today? Somebody asked about a Pro Eagle Jack.
Really? That's awesome. Yeah, good stuff.
So it's cool to see how it's transcending into not just racing, right?
Yeah.
And then so you grew up kind of just being in the dirt and stuff like that. Did you have a passion for it? Because sometimes when kids are like around that stuff so much, they want to venture off into a different direction, but it seemed like you liked it.
Ever since I can remember, that's all that I wanted to do. I wanted to be a race car driver since since I could walk. And I knew that if there was a job out there for me, it was a race car driver.
Oh, really?
Yep.
So that was what it was? It's like, okay, so were you in school like drawing pictures of race cars and stuff? The whole deal?
Yep.
Nice. That kid. But, hey, Dusty Summit just commented in. He's not far from us. He's pretty close to us. Yeah. But he said he heard that Chuck is a big S10 guy.
I am, yeah. Actually, my dad's, one of his first race cars or trucks was some McPherson Chevrolet. Joe McPherson was a factory. It was a Chevrolet dealership.
Yep.
And he was obviously sponsored by Chevrolet, and he raced a 1983 Chevy S10 in the 1982 Baja 1000 and won it.
Whoa.
And later on,
That's when you got hooked?
Yeah, well, actually, that was prior to me, but me being involved there. But later on, my dad actually bought that truck, and then they raced it in what was called 1400 at the time. So it was in an unlimited class. Because
what motor did it have?
It was a 2.8 liter, but that was too big for the 7S trucks at the time. So they had to run it in the unlimited class, and then it got parked. It got purchased by somebody and parked in a garage, collected dust, and then as soon as I had my driver's license, I tracked it down, found it, bought it, and it was my a daily driver. I drove it to school, I drove it to work, and then when I could afford to on the weekends, I raced it as well.
Nice, dude. So Jason was right. Big S10 guy. Yeah. That's awesome, dude. Yep. Austin Jones, what's up, man? Spaghetti Special. That's a cool Instagram name. So it's cool to see, like, the I don't know, the want to go off-roading. So, like, when I hear that story, like, I wasn't a big four-wheel guy, like, right at the beginning of my life, right? I was always, like, a dirt bike guy. And when I saw my first dirt bike, I kind of had the same feeling as you, and I can kind of feel it, like, in my heart, like, what I first felt. I was, like, a little kid, and I saw a dirt bike, and I was like, oh, my God, what is that? Like, getting all excited, right? And then so I kind of feel like you were the same way when you had this
yeah, definitely.
This first encounter with the S10, right?
Yeah. Actually, prior to that, it was, all the Ivan Stewart, Walker Evans, Larry Schwaka for Don Adams, like all those guys were, they were my heroes.
Yeah.
I didn't look up to movie stars and cowboys and all that stuff. The race car drivers were my heroes.
Did you get the Ivan Stewart off-road video game too and play it too?
Of course I did. Yeah.
Nice. That's the way to do it, man. That's super cool because that means that the passion was in you since the beginning, right?
Yeah.
Like, so some of your first memories were probably like going out to the desert and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And it was always a family thing. My grandma, grandpa, aunts and uncles, my dad's pit crew was family. There was some friends that just became family. But for the most part, it was actual true blood family.
Dude, that's so cool. And so were you doing most of the events or the traveling in the United States, or were you going down to Mexico and the Baja stuff?
Yeah, they raced Baja. They raced the 500. They raced the 1,000 once or twice. And then there was a series called the Grand Carrera Series, which is, less entry fees and, less work to get the cars there and back.
Right, yeah. Less resources needed to go racing, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. And so was that interesting to you, or you didn't care? You just wanted to be at the races?
I just want to be at the races.
Dude, that's so badass. And then so during that time, I'm assuming this was like years have gone by, right? And then so when did you know, like, well, actually before that, you probably met some pretty cool people that, mentored you or taught you a lot of different lessons, whether you knew you were being taught or not. You were still learning a lot, right? You were a young kid. You're a sponge. You want to get in a race car at some point. Like, so you already meeting all of these great people and learning a lot.
Yeah, definitely. I actually didn't get a lot, to meet or intermingle with a lot of those heroes. But, obviously my biggest hero was always my dad.
Right.
And so I followed him around and, wanted to watch and do everything that he did. Wanted to be like him someday or whatever. So. But when he was in the race car, I was with my uncles and out when we were chasing, and you got to sit and wait for hours and hours and hours.
Hurry up and wait.
Yeah, exactly. So there was a lot of bonding there with uncles and all that stuff. So.
And so you probably got to see, like, as a baseline, being on the logistical portion of any team, right? So that probably at a young age made it so that you understood a lot of the stuff that you know now in business, because you see, okay, we need these things to be successful on the back end of a Baja 1000 race,
right,
or whatever it is. Like, and I can guarantee that the chase trucks had issues, or a race truck had issues, and then so you get to see all that at a young age.
Yeah, definitely. It taught you to be a MacGyver before we knew what MacGyver was. And I always said that my dad could fix anything that was broken with a fork and a toothpick if he had to. So. But yeah, you learn how to just adapt and overcome.
What was that movie? I forgot what he said. Like, bring me some duct tape, a snorkel, and a toothbrush. Yeah. So yeah, that's cool though. But that actually probably sculpted a lot of the understanding of what you do now in business, right? Because without that, you probably wouldn't have had that knowledge to pursue, creating your own product and going forward. So that's pretty cool. And then so to fast forward a little bit, when did you start talking to Dad and saying, All right, Dad, like, can I drive? Was it like before you had a license or?
No, I definitely had a license at the time. Like I said, I shouldn't say that. My dad did a job for my uncle where he replaced the motor in his truck, and in exchange, he gave him an old 75 Chevy 1-ton truck that was sitting collecting dust. So that was my first truck. And then, obviously, once I could afford the Chevy S10, I bought it, and I knew I wanted to go racing with it. So that's when I started racing that truck.
That's cool. So what class were you able to put it in at that time?
At that time was stock mini. So it still had steel fenders, steel cab, windshield, all that stuff. So it fit in the stock mini rules at that time. So.
Nice. That's pretty cool. So where were you going to, like, what was your first race? What area?
So I raced the Lorana series with it. That was before MDR, and I did fairly well with it, but I wasn't quite as competitive as I thought that I could be.
That's all right, though.
Yeah.
You were still learning, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so it's cool. Like, it's cool that you understand how to do this, and then you're like getting out there and starting to race is pretty important, right? Because then you start getting the itch and you start knowing what's going on with all the different challenges of actually going out there and racing with people. All right, so our first guest of the night is on with us, the legendary Shreddy himself, Blake Wilkey. What's up, dude? How are you?
Oh, just cruising, man. Came up to the office because usually we're in the shop, and the boys are making a whole bunch of noise down there.
Oh, right on, dude. Well, I appreciate you taking the time. So you know this guy right here a little bit, Chuck from Pro Eagle, huh?
Oh yeah, man. I've had a couple interesting stories with him and my Pro Eagle jacks, but they always seem to live up to anything I can throw out their way or have them fall out of different things.
Yeah, that's actually kind of cool. I wanted to hear some stories like today from you or from anybody that actually is watching the show and understand like how durable they are, because I've literally seen Pro Eagle jacks fly straight out of a chase truck onto the ground and then just get pummeled by a car down in Mexico, and then they take it, they lift it up, and they put it right back in the chase truck and use it 20 minutes later when they get to the pits.
Yeah, that poor car. I almost had a very similar scenario here right out of my front driveway.
Oh, really?
Yes.
What happened?
Yeah. Oh, well, I literally I came home from testing the TT bug and then was going to pick up some furniture for the house. My tailgate from my wedge trailer got smoked by the bed rails and the tailgate. So basically, I pulled out of my driveway, hit the 67, turned real hard, and there's a little downhill, and my tailgate popped open. I didn't realize it until I got like 5 miles from my house that one of my tie downs was creating sparks, and someone's like, something's dragging, creating sparks, and it was dark. So I go back and see the tailgate's down, and I'm like, my jack's gone, and a bunch of tie downs were gone, and I was like, this isn't good. Like,
that's a 60-pound projectile too.
Oh.
Yeah. So I'm like, here's this 3-ton Pro Eagle jack that maybe I'm going to go back to a car accident or a scene or something. It's like 9:00 at night. I'm just like, this is not what I want to deal with. I'm late to go pick up this furniture, but I don't have tie downs either. So I'm like, well, I got to go back. So come back, find it on the side of the road. Like after looking like 10 minutes later, it's like 100 yards from my house. So it came off and rolled down the road or something because it was deep. Literally checked it out, had a bunch of scuffs, threw the tie downs back in. Next day, I'm like, have to do some stuff. I pull it out of the bed of my truck and she worked just fine. And I was like, thank God I didn't kill anyone. Thank God I didn't ruin this like brand new Pro Eagle jack that we put our shreddy wrap on and stuff. And I was actually really surprised.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy to see those stories. Like, I've actually talked to Chuck about some other funny stories, too, that I think we should talk about tonight, too. But, like, understanding that and seeing that stuff happen in real life, like down in Mexico, I was so astonished. I was like, dude, these things are bulletproof, man. It'd be kind of cool to do some, like, real-world testing with it and just try to, like, jack one up, like, totally mess it up.
Yeah, we've done that, but definitely not on purpose. But
just from people having stories.
Yeah,
that's crazy. And Chuck was saying too before you logged on, Blake, is that dude, you got the shop that's always turning wrenches. You got people in there, making cool stuff. But you got Pro Eagles all over the place. And Chuck was like, dude, he has so many of them down there.
I think I have like 3 of them, yeah, now, and they all come in handy. They all get used. I mean, anything that needs to go up high or anything that's in the sand or the dirt, it's nice because it's not like you got to like literally drag it through the sand. It like will still roll through the sand. So like they nailed it with these jacks and the durability. Yeah, I mean, after it fell out of the truck, it definitely got pummeled by the trailer. You know, those trailer axles don't hang that low, and there was definitely some scars on it. So that thing took a lick. But
I'm sure you have a million stories like that, right?
Yeah.
People calling you up and being like, dude, you know what happened to this thing?
Yeah.
Hey, Blake, when was the first time you met Chuck?
Probably like 4 years ago or more, maybe. How long? His Pro Eagles kind of started really blossoming, and he started really pushing it. How long's Pro Eagle been around? 4 or 5 years?
Yeah, we started in 2013.
Oh, nice. Yeah. So
okay.
It's been a little while. So it's almost going on 9-10 years now.
Yeah.
Right on.
It took a little bit to gain momentum, but yeah.
You know what's funny though is like when people think about it, like 9 or 10 years, not that long, right? Like in a company structure. Well, that's cool. So when you first met him, was it just like, oh, dude, this would be perfect in the shop? Like this would help me out so much.
Yeah, I think maybe I got introduced by Russ from Buggy Whips. Possibly, or he might have reached out and said, you know, hey, check this product out. Just, you know, standard marketing, and he's seen what we were doing and always out and about and being active. And he's like, let's set something up and get you one of these jacks. And I'm like, let's run it, because my Harbor Freight ones always are taking a crap on me. And he's like, yeah. Had a really good warranty program and said, you know, we'll service this. I know I've seen them out at King of the Hammers fixing people's jacks if there's any issues. So I was like, that's some good customer service.
Yeah, dude. That's the way to do it, right? Especially when the jack is so important for a program like Blake's. And then the same question to you, Chuck, is like, when did you start knowing about Blake?
When he did the VW bug video and had his law issues. So.
So were you thinking like, okay, cool, this dude needs a jack?
No, actually, it was through Russ. You know, I was like, wow, this guy's really, you know, he's crazy. And Russ is like, no, he's one of the coolest dudes you ever meet. You know,
nice.
I'll have to introduce you someday. So.
That's cool. So should we start calling Russ like the super agent, linking people up? Is that how it
really
is?
Yeah.
He's that
guy.
He's
very good at that.
Hey, so what kind of projects have you done with the product? I know you just built a trophy bug. That thing looks super cool. Can these jacks lift up that bad boy?
No doubt. No, like that's. I mean, the bug weighs under 6,000 pounds. So I mean, we could literally probably, if we could find the proper balance point, obviously with the travel, but if we strap the travel up and to where it didn't droop out, I'm sure we could probably lift this whole thing up no problem. Easily. I mean, 3 tons is right there at the limit. But I mean, I have a 10,000 pound trailer that I've used the 3 ton to lift up, and it's kind of pushing it, but it actually lifts it up still.
Yeah, but that's crazy though, because like no matter what, when the trailer is loaded or unloaded or whatever, and you need to get something off the trailer, you're just hoping and praying that you can get off the side of the road.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've stretched her limits for sure, and it hasn't let me down yet. So that's pretty cool.
What do you got going on right now, man? We haven't talked to you in a while.
Dude, I just took the mini boat out. We got the mini boat mafia shoot coming up in Idaho. We're going to Havasu this weekend for some activation stuff. So kind of transitioning to the summer stuff. We're going to the Midwest Dirt Fest out back east to Michigan to rip with all the Midwest guys. And then we're going to take like a 3-week road trip home, hit Sturgis on the way home, kind of do some activation stuff there because it's huge. I mean, just traveling back east for these warmer days here in SoCal and keeping the wheels turning.
Man, it's kind of cool to see. Like, we were just talking with Chuck about, like, he literally just drove back from Arizona today so he could be on the show. Like, the amount of busyness that you guys have is pretty cool, man. So you got to be proud of Blake going and doing all this stuff.
Yeah. You know, it's like that saying, you know, everybody wants to be a beast until it's time to do what beasts do, you know. So it's everybody wants to be Blake. Everybody wants to be you get to go to the off-road shows or whatever until it's time to do what Blake does. And it's like, I'm ready to go to bed now. And you're like, we're just getting started. You know, so.
Let's just load up and finish and get driving over there.
Yep.
That's pretty cool, man. And then I wanted to ask you too, because since I haven't been able to talk with you, how was it driving that trophy bug? Because we didn't really get to talk with you much after the first couple times that you got in there and drove it around, and I know you were excited.
It's so much fun. It's super predictable. It handles really well. It has really good traction. Gladiator Tires is developing a 40-inch tire for their XT tire, which will give us right in between of the all-terrain and the mud terrain, to where I think that'll be a much better tire option for us in the trophy truck class. So working with them on that. But this thing, I mean, we just went out to Boulevard and we were sending it like 10 feet plus in the air, 140 feet. And it's just so fun, and it's a beast. It's something I want to drive every day, but my wallet won't allow that.
That's a little bit pricey, right? So when you said, you just call it Boulevard or wherever you called it, was that like, I saw something on your social media. It looked like you guys like were doing, had the trophy bug out there on like a motocross track, kind of. That's the way I would explain it.
It was. The boys out there, it was Zach's 30th birthday, and they were throwing a birthday party out there, and they had they have freestyle ramps. They had like a UTV track, but a couple of them moved up to the trucks. And so basically they wanted to just have kind of like a Huckfest style event, and it's right here an hour east of San Diego. So they set it up to where we can go out there and just rip for a full day with kind of a private invite type thing. And there were some booters. There was one downhill double where if you didn't make it, you were gonna probably end up hurt or on your lid. But it was just sick. It was a 4-acre track, and everybody got to sesh, and then we ended up jumping motorhomes and stock Infinities with Fiberworks glass on the front, just some hoopty stuff. And it was like, a lot of people are saying, oh, it was a movie, but this felt like a movie.
Dude, could you imagine?
No, not at all.
Well, and he kind of slid it in there saying we started jumping motorhomes.
Oh, really? I didn't see that.
I didn't see it either. I just heard him say it. That's crazy, dude. Like, are you talking
it was pretty tight.
Are you talking about jumping over them or jumping in them?
I jumped over D-Max Rhino's SEMA build that's sitting on 42s, that's like lifted on bags and just sky high. So I jumped over that. And then the motorhome we launched a stock older Mustang. The airbags blew out, and then we jumped the motorhome. The motorhome blew like a wheel off, but we were able to bring it back up, and then we set it right where the Infinity tried to jump through it. He actually landed, and the back tires caught the frame rails on the side of it. He stuck in it. Then the motorhome started doing donuts while he was doing a burnout in it. It was just mayhem.
Dude, that's so wild.
It was so
fun. I can't wait to see some footage of that. I don't know if you caught it though, but it sounded like they had to probably use a Pro Eagle jack to lift something up after it was broken.
Yeah, no doubt.
Dude, that's hilarious.
We had to use tractor.
It was that gnarly, huh?
Yeah.
That sounds like so much fun, dude. Hopefully you'll be able to show some of these people some of that stuff on your social media one of these days.
No, it's all out there. It's all on my profile. So it's a few back, and hats off to those boys for putting together such a professional first-time event and the fun that they brought. But there were a handful of Pro Eagles on site in case we needed them, though, for sure.
Just in case, right? Yeah. All right, man. Well, I really appreciate you coming on and hanging out with us. That was super cool of you to take the time out. I know that the boys need you back so you can get stuff done in the shop, too. We really appreciate it, man.
Just real quick.
Anytime, guys. Keep those.
Shreddy makes a wrap kit now for the 2 and the 3-ton jacks as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
was that the one we saw online? Let me see if I have a picture of that. I think I actually do.
The one that we used for his Class 11 bug. It had his wrap on it.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, I got a picture of it right here. This thing's super cool too. So
yep.
Does that wrap able to be purchased as well?
Yeah.
Where do you purchase it at?
On their website, on the Shreddy website.
On the Shreddy website. There we go. So people want to see the picture of it. It's right there. Check that bad boy out. That thing looks cool, dude.
Damn.
So
yeah, it's also a way to protect it. You know, just like you have phone covers and stuff. These things get banged around and tossed around. So it's this thick Moto material, 300M. That's then laminated with another thick clear over it.
Yep.
So it basically it also helps protect the body of it.
Yeah, well, especially when and if something happens to it, like what happened
dropping it out of a truck. Yeah.
Getting smoked. All right, well, we really appreciate you taking the time, Blake. It's always cool to talk with you.
Yes, sir. You boys have a great day. Thanks for having me on, and keep lifting stuff.
Later, man. We'll see you. Pretty cool to
Later,
see.
guys.
Pretty cool to hear those stories, right? Do you?
Yeah, definitely.
What was one of the gnarliest stories that you ever heard about the product?
Actually, there was some guys in Canada, and I didn't even know about it, and people started sending it to me and sending me DMs and whatever. So they were in some Jeep Cherokees, and they were way back in the woods, and one of them actually, ripped the rear hub off of the Jeep. So they took the 3-ton jack and 1,000 motorcycle tie-downs and wrapped it on the axle and drove it 6 miles out of the woods.
On the jack?
On the jack.
Onto the axle?
Yeah.
Really?
Yep. So they replaced the wheel on the Jeep with the
What
Pro
about
Eagle.
so was the drive axle still working, or they put it underneath so it could actually just rotate next to it?
Correct, yeah.
Holy smokes.
Yeah, so they just strapped it to the axle because the whole tire and everything was gone. So on one side, it was just an empty axle tube, and that was it.
Dude, that literally is the Pro Eagle coming to the rescue.
Yeah.
6 miles?
Yep.
Holy smokes. And
Yeah.
did they, take pictures and, show you it?
Oh, yeah, they actually had posted a video of it, and like I said, I didn't know anything about it. And
Holy
it was like 2 or 3
dude.
days later, and people were like, hey, did you see that? I'm like, no, what are you talking about? So.
Dude, that's so cool. Oh, well, and now you have proof that if anybody needs to have something like that happen, that they can make it happen that way, right?
Yeah.
I remember in UTVs, let's just say you ripped off the front suspension or a front corner on your UTV. I don't know, let's just say 10 years ago or whatever it was, you would just leave your UTV wherever it was in the dunes and then come back and pick it up with a trailer or however you were going to do it.
Yeah.
Now people are tying things down and lifting it up and putting it on the back tire and three-wheeling it out of there.
Yeah.
Now I can see a trend of something happening the same way. People learn how to do something like what you're talking about, and then they start using that product for it.
Yeah.
Thank God that dude or somebody in their crew had a Pro Eagle with them.
Yeah. Wayne Matlock actually did that at UTV World Championships this past year.
Really?
Yeah, he lost the rear hub, 100 yards from the finish line, and they got it to the finish line, but to be able to get up on the podium, they put a jack underneath it and drove the car up on the podium on the jack.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, that's some good content for you right there, right?
Yep.
Man, those are some crazy stories. I love hearing those stories because that's literally what you were talking about the MacGyver stuff.
Yep.
Well, let's go back a little bit more to your story, and thanks again, Blake Wilkey, for joining us. But let's go back to your story, being a kid and starting to want to get into the off-road stuff and getting into racing and all of that. Well, actually, let's take a step back. So seeing your dad do it, there's got to be a lot of resources that you're like, crap, man, this is going to be too much. I don't know if I'll be able to get into it and do it. But you have your parents' support, and then you're getting in a truck. You're starting small. What's the next step that you do? Are you out there racing all the time? Are you out there every weekend?
No, I think that I race the S10 maybe 3 times a year, if that. And then I came across an older Class 8 truck that was for sale. So I sold the S10 and bought the Class 8 truck, and still could only afford to race that 2 or 3 times.
Yeah. How old were you at that time? Do you know?
Early 20s.
Yeah, so, dude, you probably felt like a big dog in a Class 8,
for
though.
sure.
I made the move. I'm coming up.
Yeah. I was, in my mind, I was the fastest there was on the track, for sure.
Sundance 67 actually just talked about you guys have a Pro Eagle Honda Talent, too. It's pretty cool. You got turbo on that thing?
We do, yeah. Jackson Motorsports set us up with a turbo, and the thing's got gobs of horsepower. It's badass.
All right, so we'll see where this story goes and what the transition was to side-by-sides, because I'm always interested to see that. I'm just a side-by-side guy. I've never been in a big truck, I've sat in the right seat, but I've never actually raced a big truck. So I'm always interested to see what the difference is, what people think about the different vehicles that they drive, right? So, all right, you get this Class 8, and you're like, all right, I'm in it. I'm getting ready to go. So you race it a few times then, or? Yeah,
so I had it for a couple years, and like I said, I only could afford to race it 2 or 3 times each year. And then I don't remember what happened. I went to decided, you know what, if I want to make racing a career, then I'm going to have to get out of off-road. So I sold that and bought a Grand American Modified and raced at Irwindale and absolutely sucked at it. It was
It's a
awful.
totally different world, though.
Yeah. I had no ability to stay in the gas while the wall was coming up on me. And
yeah, because you're used to just passing by cactus and things like that.
Yeah. So I sold that, and then I don't think I had any race car for a while. And then a chance meeting with a guy that my dad had used to race with in the past, Mike Horner. And I think I met him at my dad's birthday party, and he's like, "Hey, man, my truck just got stolen. We found it. It's completely stripped. It's just a roll cage and a cab, and that is it. I don't have the funds or the ability to go race it anymore. I have a truck. I have the resources and all that stuff, but I can't get sponsorship. I can't do any of that stuff. I know you're good with business and marketing and whatever, so why don't we team up? I got a truck, but no money to do it and no sponsors. You know how to get sponsors and don't have a truck.
Good match.
So let's work together, yeah. So we raced that truck, and I think we raced it for maybe 4 years or so, and we did extremely well with that.
Nice.
We went I think 2 years in a row. We finished every mile of every score race that year.
Holy cow.
Yeah, we won the Ball 1000.
That in itself is a massive feat of or accomplishment.
Yeah. We've won championships, 2 championships back-to-back with it.
Dang, dude.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. And were you driving or were you in the right seat?
Both.
Oh, cool.
No, actually, no, I don't think I ever co-drove at all. I think it was just split driving time with Mike.
Nice, dude. That's rad.
Yeah.
And then so that actually means that like you kind of found where you belonged at that point, right?
Yeah, that actually really introduced me to marketing, and I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
And I brought that into the Pro Eagle, and that's what's helped to grow the brand as well. Is those things that I learned on getting sponsors and how to work with those relationships and all that kind of stuff and build that. And I brought that here, and use what I learned here.
I'm a huge fan of that. Like, and we've been talking about it a lot, like the last couple episodes of the show, sponsorship and marketing and stuff like that. We actually on June 17th are going to have what's called the Sponsorship Summit.
I saw that.
And so that is going to be pretty cool because we're going to talk to whoever signs up. Obviously, there's a bunch of people that are already signed up, but you should check it out. It's on the Dirt Life Show's Instagram page, and sign up for it if you guys want. But it's cool because it talks a lot about the stuff that you're talking about in relationships and things like that. But we won't get too far into that today. Maybe we'll talk about some of the stuff that you have to deal with when you with Pro Eagle now. But so understanding the racing stuff and the resources that are dedicated to it, do you have is this the time when you're starting to kind of think about Pro Eagle? Are you working for any companies? Like, what's going on when you're not in the driver's seat?
No, actually, I was where I worked for Keystone Automotive at that time, and I was a wholesale salesperson. So I just sat in a cubicle and sold parts to people that called in.
And just dreaming about off-roading?
Yeah, exactly. But I was still racing at that time. But it gave me access to the manufacturers at that point. So the manufacturers would come in, do training, or they would, ask questions about, hey, how's things going, or do you need any help with stuff or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was like, hey, I do have a question here. I race vehicles and I do this stuff, and they're like, oh, well, maybe we can help out. And so that's how things started going there with the sponsorship and motorsports part of it.
Yeah, because it's all kind of aligning. I can see it like what you're just talking about it here. Like everything kind of is working together, right? Because you see how it is to be a racer, how it is in the driver's seat, what resources are needed, and then you sitting at the desk and understanding the way that the business works and revolving and all of these different pieces kind of aligning, right?
Yeah.
So it starts making you think about, okay, well, what other stuff do we need in the off-road world to help? And this is one of the main things that I wanted to talk about today was helping other people, right? And you see a necessity for your race program or other people's race program. You see people struggling, and you're like, wow, you know what? I think there's the ability to really help all of these people by making a different product. So when did that spark for you?
So obviously I had the background coming into it. In 2010, I went to work for a company, Austin International. And Austin International is a private label manufacturer, so we build products for a lot of other companies in the United States. We build hydraulic products from one of the biggest auto parts distributors. And I had taken the idea to them and said, hey, we're in the off-road world, we're purchasing your jack.
Yep.
And then we're putting hundreds of dollars worth of other stuff on it to make it work for what we do in our world.
Yeah, to fit the need.
Right. Yeah. So whether it's a wheel kit, or whether it's the extension for the extra added height, or whatever it may be, and they weren't interested in it at all. So I walked out of that meeting and said, you know what, forget it. I'm just going to do it myself. And Austin, the owner of the company, said, all right, let's do it.
Nice.
So we started off with the 2-ton. Right now it's called the OG because it was the original, and it was the one that didn't have big wheels on it.
I like the names, by the way.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so that one actually, but our goal was always to do the large wheel versions, but to be able to find an axle and wheel package that we could legitimately call a 2-ton jack or a 3-ton jack wasn't easy.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of testing that we had to go through. So, but that original one took off, and that was all that was available at the time. But it had all those parts and pieces that people were adding onto their jacks.
Yeah.
Aftermarket.
But it was in a package,
all in one package, and we offered a 2-year full replacement warranty. We offered all the parts. We offered service. I was at all the races if there was issues.
You make it sound like it was easy for all that stuff to happen, but I know that there was a lot of trials and tribulations along the way. But filling that void, it just makes me happy to understand that, because you work hard on it, and then all of a sudden you're like, okay, now I get to go show people.
Right. Yeah, it's been fun. It's come a long way, but it's exciting as well.
When was the first time you got to, I don't know, release? Maybe that's too strong of a word, to the off-road market.
So we did a photo shoot in 2013, right before SEMA, and then we were at the SEMA show in 2013, and that was actually, I take that back. Offroad Expo in 2013 was the first time that the public really saw it.
Got it.
And honestly, we sat there for the 8 or 9 hours Saturday and Sunday, and 90% of the people laughed at us. They said that's too expensive. Nobody's ever going to buy it. I can buy a Harbor Freight for half that price. But then I'm like, yeah, but you're going to end up buying 2 or 3 or 4 of them in a year, And the next year when we did Offroad Expo again, those same people came back and said, you know what, you're right. I should have just bought yours from the get-go.
Exactly. Yeah. That's crazy. Yeah, and that's what I always try to preach to people, and especially in the racing world, because racing, you can't have it's always that little $7 part that kills you, right? That always kills your race. So I always preach to people, cry once and get the product that you need. You know what I mean? Like, if you need a big toe strap, get a big toe strap, right? Get a strong big toe strap. Don't cheap out on it and get like a little chintzy one, because if it fails on you, you're screwed, right? So it's the same kind of concept, and I always preach to people, just cry once, get what you need, and then have for the duration of the time that you need to fulfill these duties or fill your program. So I'm a huge proponent of that. So I like the way that you're marketing it and having that warranty on it as well.
Yeah.
So do you go to SEMA? Do the off-road guys know that you already have this product? Do you go to any races or anything yet?
Yeah. So Offroad Expo obviously was there, and then I knew that to gain the momentum, I had to get the racers to accept it. So it was a lot of hard work to get them to accept it.
Yeah.
But many of them did, and then once other racers saw, like, wait a minute, you did just buy that out of the box, and here I am with my tiny little 1.5-ton Harbor Freight, and I can't lift up my truck with it, and I can't do anything with it.
Exactly.
And even if I could, I have to put $250 worth of other product on it.
It doesn't even reach the axle,
to make it work. So then they just started to realize it, and it gained momentum from there.
Yeah, 100%. And John Lewis from Desert Squadron just logged on too, and he said, yeah, buy once, cry once. Yeah, and I agree with that too. He's actually got a very cool product that I'm into. It's a trauma kit that you can put in any off-road vehicle or your overland vehicle or whatever it is, and it's a little bit more expensive than going to Walmart and buying a first aid kit, but you're not going to have what you need in the Walmart first aid kit.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's kind of
something you want to screw around with either.
Well, I guess it's kind of it's not saving a life, right? But it's or his is, and your product, but it's the same concept, right? Like, get it so that it fulfills the duties of what you need at the time, right? Like, you don't want to have a jack. You don't want to have anybody be injured, but as long as you have the product there to get you out of a situation, it's exactly what you should have.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm a big proponent of that, John, as well. So thanks for the comment, man. Yeah, best kit on the market, says DFO Motorsports. Well, let's talk about that a little bit because we're gonna go to commercial break in about 5 or 10 minutes here, and then we're gonna have Steve Bouchard from Rugged Radios on. Let's talk about what you got then. The most popular product is the
the 3-ton is definitely the most popular.
Oh, the 3-ton is?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, and I tell people to. Because people I talk to at the shows and whatever, like, oh, I just need it for my UTV, or I just need it for my Chevy S10, or I just need it for, whatever that vehicle is. And I'm like, okay, well, you're going to the dunes, you're going to the races, you're going to all that stuff, right? Yeah. What are you towing that vehicle with? Oh, I've got a Super Duty I tow it with.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Got it.
In a tow hauler that's fully loaded? Yeah. Okay, what are you going to do for those vehicles when they have a flat tire or have issues?
Just like we were talking
about that.
Yep.
So, yeah, so that's definitely the most popular, and it's the longest, and it offers the most lift heights. So most of the UTVs need, they got big wheel travel now, and they've got 35-inch tall tires, and so they need a tall jack.
Kill 2 birds with 3 birds, 5 birds, depending on all your vehicles with 1 stone, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's super cool. And then, so to go back on what you were talking about before, explain to the difference between what you just said. You mentioned Harbor Freight, so let's use that as our example. Between your jack and a Harbor Freight jack?
When it started off, actually just all the other additional accessories that were on it, so there wasn't a big difference between those two. But if you took those entry-level jacks and you bought all those accessories, my price point was even with what it would have cost you to do all that stuff aftermarket.
So if I'm going to go down to my local 4-wheel parts store and look at getting a Pro Eagle jack, or I'm going to go down to a Harbor Freight and look at getting one of their cheap jacks, then what's the differences that I'm looking at?
So actually, like I said, it started off as very similar to those.
Right now, though.
Now it's very different. Over the years, we've learned, what parts in the jacks don't like dust and dirt, what parts don't like moisture, what parts don't live well with vibration. Yep. And we've made so many changes since then. The 3-tons probably had 4 or 5 different pump revisions. Yes, from that point till now. And we have some more coming.
Yeah, that's cool, though, because you're using all the user and customer feedback, right, and making it better.
Right, yeah. As of, let's just take that, apples to apples. Any other jack manufacturer, they have a product, and that's what it is.
Yep.
Take it or leave it. So we've taken all of that experience with customer feedback and, hey, my jack doesn't work anymore. Okay, let me find out why.
Yep.
And then it's enabled us to make them better each step of the way.
Do you have any stories that you can give us examples of that? Like what a fix that you had in the last couple years to one of the jacks was because of a customer's issue that he had?
I don't know of any one particular customer, but it's just all of them as a whole.
So you get 10 different suggestions?
Right, yeah. So, and we do. We bring them all back, and we open them up, and we find out why. What failed in it, what didn't work. There's been plenty of times where I'm in Baja and, I'm down there helping somebody else or I'm racing or whatever, and my phone goes off and it's like, hey, the race is tomorrow. We just finished tech and realized that our jack doesn't work. Do you have an extra?
Yeah.
I don't have any extras, but I have mine.
Yeah.
Well, we need it for the race car tomorrow. Is there any way we can borrow it? And like, well, let's do it. Then I don't have a jack. I've got theirs that doesn't work anymore. But so I'd give up my jack, but I'd pull theirs in. And like, all right, let me find out why.
That's cool.
I don't want to ever have somebody that if it doesn't work in your garage, it is what it is.
But it's also a good. It's a good warranty, first of all. And you're not going to give your jack to every single person. But if they do warranty it, then you can go through and you can figure out the issue and make it better.
Right.
In the future.
Yeah.
That's cool. One story that I thought you had told me something about, like when you kind of first started getting into it, who was it, the Ologist or somebody that you had showed them the jack and you were kind of like, oh, check this out and what it can do with the truck.
Yeah, so when the big wheel jack had come out, say like January, February-ish, that year, and then the following year at the Parker 425, I was set up in tech and contingency, and they drove around, and the crew chief walked up to me and he says, hey, we've been looking at these, but I'm not quite sure about the wheels. I'm not sure if it'll hold up. I'm not sure if it's the right choice for us.
Yeah.
But everything that this jack has is everything we want and need.
Yeah.
So how can you tell me that it's going to work for us? And I said, well, bring the trophy truck around and we'll jack it up and show you. So he's like, okay, cool. So he drives it around once they get up to where
Did you know it was going to work at the time?
Yes. I hope that it would. Yes. But I didn't know it would go quite as well as it did. So he brought the trophy truck around. We jacked up the front end, and he's like, okay, great. And I'm like, well, let's put it around on the rear axle where it's the heaviest. It's full of fuel. You got 2 spare tires on there. Let's jack up the rear end and see what happens. So he's like, okay, cool. You want to put one on each side of the trailing arms? Like, no. Let's put one right in the middle of the differential and jack up the whole thing. So
throw me in the fire right away.
Yeah. He's like, so if it fails, though, we're in the middle of tech, and all these people are watching what happens. And I'm like, it's not going to fail. Crossing my fingers that it doesn't. So we jack up the rear end. He's like, okay, all right, you got me now.
Yeah.
So I said, how about we do this? Tell your driver to let this foot off the brake and let the truck roll down the hill on the jack. He's like,
is it a dirt hill?
No, it's on the asphalt.
Oh, okay.
But it's, I don't know, it's what are the rear end of a trophy truck weighs?
Dude, yeah. Well, and plus with leverage and momentum.
Correct, yeah, and it's downhill. So he's like, all right, but again, if this thing fails, then everybody's going to see it. I'm like, oh, it's not going to fail. So he lets his foot off the brake, and it rolls down 20 or 30 yards, and he's like, all right, sold.
Dude, that's a gutsy move, though. Holy cow, man.
Yeah.
But it worked out, I guess, right?
It worked out.
Dude, that's crazy. I love that you went out there on a limb and just got it done, so to speak. That's super cool, man. So after that happened, he obviously wanted them, but that probably gave you a bunch of confidence that your product was going to work well, and now you're just like, all right, you know what? I'll keep my my product moving forward, but now I can focus on some of the marketing.
Right, yeah, and it actually opened up the door for a lot of other things. Racers are a lot of monkey see, monkey do.
Yeah.
So once the trophy truck team was using it, it was like, okay, well, if they're going to use it and they trust it, then I need it too.
Yeah, totally. Rossi Welch just joined us and said it's a must-have on all the chase trucks. Yeah, it really is. Yeah, even going on like adventures and stuff. So, let's talk about that a little bit because it's not just racing. You're into racing, I'm into racing, but the product is used way outside of racing.
Right, yeah, so that's one of the things that I come back to in that original conversation with that customer was, it's not Glamis, it's not the race cars, it's not all that stuff. It's anything with larger than stock tires and wheels.
Yeah.
And they just didn't see that bigger picture. And now, I just got back from Overland Expo and, had the conversations out there. I've got a Tundra and I'm running, Total Chaos kit and I've got 37-inch tall tires and whatever. And like, what are you running for a jack?
Like 6 setups is there?
Exactly, yeah. They're beautiful rigs. But what are you running for a jack? Oh, my stock jack, I guess. You know that it's not going to work, right? Well, what do you mean, And then the wife's like, I bet you don't even know where it's at, So he's like, yeah, I've never even pulled the stock jack out.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So it's much larger than that. It's definitely gone way beyond off-road racing, way beyond UTVs, but that was always my goal.
Did you ever envision it that way, or like the whole time?
Absolutely.
That's cool.
I knew that I had to have the racers to build the legitimacy of it.
Right.
And have that background. So if somebody looks into it and it goes, is it going to work for my Bronco or is it going to work for my truck? Then, wait a minute. Those racers are using it, so it's going to work for me too.
That's got to be pretty fulfilling too, like when you go see all that stuff. So and those Overland guys, you also have mounting systems for these things too, right?
Every jack has its own mount.
Oh, okay. So when I buy one, I can put it on whatever?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So, like, these guys can put it on their Overland rigs, like what he was talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, that's cool, man. So, no matter what, they're self-sufficient, I guess, right?
Yeah. All the materials, the hardware on the jacks, just in the past 2 years, we changed everything to stainless steel so it doesn't rust. The mounting systems are all stainless steel, so if they're mounted on the outside of a vehicle that's out in the weather, they don't rust. It incorporates the handles. The handles fit down inside. We worked with Boxo Tools to build specific tool kits that fit underneath the mounts.
Shout out Boxo.
Yeah. So, it's been good.
That's super cool, man. I like the way that you're expanding everything, right? Because you're going out and you're doing all the legwork, right? It's kind of like the way that you're operating a racing program. That's so much the same way I operate the dirt life too, right? Like you're going out there and talking with people and letting them know what you do. Actually, you know what? Let's go back on the racing stuff that we're talking about. So, what's the stuff that you like doing now as far as being associated with races? You just go out to races and check it out. You still get to drive?
No, I wish I still got to drive. Yeah, I'm definitely very busy with the brand now. But the goal is definitely to get back into the driver's seat someday. I pretend while I'm out in our UTV, but I'll get back there someday.
Big UTV guy now?
I love racing. I love going fast. Anything in the dirt. So UTVs are definitely the most economical way to do it.
Yep.
So, but yeah, I've run a friend of mine that invited me to come ride out with King of the Hammers.
Yeah.
So I've ridden with him a few times. We've driven his King of the Hammers truck at Best in Desert races.
Nice.
So yeah, it's just been.
Does he let you put a Pro Eagle sticker on the side of the truck?
Absolutely.
Nice.
That's
there we go, dude. John Huppert said, any thoughts of going into other forms of racing, Jax, like NASCAR, or that so far from your wheelhouse?
I can't give away too many secrets, but NASCAR isn't necessarily on our radar, but the dirt track NASCAR stuff is.
Oh, okay, cool. You like dirt?
I like dirt.
Yeah.
But on the asphalt, they've got that. There's a tool for that already. Whereas the guys that are pitting and doing all their work in a dirt lot, running late models and sprint cars and whatever it may be, there's a need there that hasn't been addressed yet.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, that'll be cool to see you guys get into that portion of the market too. John does a lot of stuff with NASCAR racing, so it's kind of cool to see that he's asking those questions. But hey, he's probably got one in his garage, or going to get one for his garage too. So
hope so.
Well, okay, so we've been talking about the 3-ton, but like, what am I trying to put on my UTV? Like, I really want to get a Pro R this year. So what kind of stuff can I fit on there, just in case I needed to go trail riding?
So the Pro R's got monster wheel travel. The 3-ton, actually, you can buy a 15-inch extension. So that's really the only thing that'll lift the Pro R high enough to get the tires off of it.
Okay.
But we have UTV jacks that are operated off of CO2. So we sell it. It comes in a case. It's got the CO2 cartridges. It's got the regulator, everything in a soft bag. You can throw it underneath the seat or tie it down or whatever. But we also offer a stainless steel roll bar mount. It's similar to like a fire extinguisher mount.
Perfect.
So you put it on the roll bar, and it's got a little holster that holds all the CO2 cartridges and the regulator. So it's all right there. So that's your trail jack for the UTVs. So if you were to have an issue when you're out there, that's the jack you'd use at that point.
Jason asked the question, any thoughts on making a specialty low-profile jack?
Yes. That's one of the things that's coming down the road very soon.
Nice, dude. That's cool, man. Well, I can't wait to see some of these new things come. Corey Levin at X3 Night Rider said, I'll offer a shotgun seat for one of the night rides at UTV Takeover lead car.
I'll be at UTV Takeover with our UTV for sure, but I'll take that seat.
Yeah, that'll be kind of fun, right?
Yeah, those guys are crazy. We were gonna go.
Oh, really?
We were gonna go out on the night ride last year, and we went out to go take some pictures with Russ, and he decided to drop his car off of a cliff, and we ended up out there for a couple hours trying to winch his car back up.
Oh, crap.
Yeah, so we missed the night ride, but once we got it up, got to go out and watch all the cars come through, and the carnage
was it gnarly?
There was probably at least 15 cars that were rolled, and
dudes go hard
just in that little span that I could see. Yeah, they go really
that's
hard.
Crazy. Speaking of Boxo, Lucas just joined us. What's up, Lucas? How are you? Let's see. The Phoenix Jack is awesome. Has saved us on a few Baja UTV rides. Which one is the Phoenix then?
So this is the Phoenix DS, and then we have a regular Phoenix. This is the first one that came out. It's a single cylinder, and it's got a taller collapse length, but it also has more lift height.
Okay. This thing's pretty lightweight too.
Yeah.
So you can just strap this on the car?
Right. Yeah, like I said, that one comes in a soft bag, or we have the stainless steel bar mount as well.
How high does this thing go?
That one's 1 feet 4 inches, and then the standard Phoenix is 2 feet 5 inches.
I like it because it's lightweight.
Yeah.
And then you just pump it up with
CO2.
CO2?
Yep.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
So you can fit all this like on a frame rail or something, huh? Like how do you usually do it?
Yeah, so this actually is something that Power Tank developed for us, so you can use the larger CO2 canister. There's more pressure in that and more volume. So you can actually lift up to 3,000 pounds with that.
Oh, crap, really?
Yeah, so that opened it up into the overland or the smaller truck market.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. Dude, that's awesome. Yeah, so when you're out on the trail, yeah, obviously. Let's see here. Yeah, John said he has a Pro Eagle 2 on my Turbo S. Is that what he's saying there?
Yep.
Will it be upgradable if I go to a Pro R?
I have a Pro Eagle.
Yeah, so he probably wants to see if there's like an add-on or something. So if he gets more travel.
Got it. Yeah. So there actually will be a couple different attachments for the new or the older and the new Phoenix. For more wheel travel.
Yeah, perfect. And then Alfie, I don't know what your handle is, but he said Phoenix DS is a space saver and has picks up his Jeep like nothing.
Yeah. So he was actually one of the first guys to get the Phoenix DS trail kit for his Jeep, and he's got a Jeep on, he's got Curry axles, and he's got 40-inch tall Milestar tires, and I'm like, you would be the true test of it. I want you to go out there and run it.
That's cool.
And he's abused the crap out of it, and it's never let him down.
Nice. I like to hear that. What's crazy is Jason actually commented in and said they used lifted a full-size Wagoneer in Johnson Valley.
Yeah, we actually did a photo shoot for the DS when it came out, and Terry Madden was our model for that day. And
with his luscious hair.
Yeah, so he was driving the KC's Jeep Wagoneer. So after the photo shoot was over and the sun was setting and all that, and I'm like, hey, let's try to lift the Wagoneer with. And he's like, you think it'll do it?
Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, let's do it. So
nice.
It did. The front axle, and it pulled the tire on the Wagoneer.
Dude, it's so funny. And one thing that I'm noticing about you as a person here is like two things. First, a lot of your customers. Like that's super cool that you can have that intimate relationship with them. And then second, I'm noticing that one thing I really like about you is even if you don't know, you're still going to go for it no matter what it is.
Definitely. I always fail forward.
Yep.
If it fails, then I know how to fix it to make it sure that it doesn't fail the next time.
Dude, that's such a good way of looking at it, right? And the progression behind the products is so much faster when you have a thought process like that.
Yeah.
I love that. All right, I think we should probably take a quick commercial break right now because we're going to get Steve Bouchard on in just a second here. So all you guys on Instagram, you can just watch the stuff that's going on in the back, or you can go over and check out some of the Facebook and commercials that we have going on. We will be right back.
My name is Dustin Grabowski. I race for Grabowski Brothers Racing, and we're here at the Mint 400. Motul joined on board about maybe 3 years ago, and ever since they've come onto the team, we've had great success with their oils, never had any failures due to oil, and it's just super nice to know the peace of mind you have when you're out on the course, not having to worry about engine failure, oil failure, and they also help us with our data. We pull samples out, and they can just let us know what we need to focus on for prepping. We ran it on the dyno, figure out which oils work best with the motor, and it just helps out huge. Having Motul on board definitely gives us a little bit of an advantage. When you're racing in the desert, you don't want to have any oil problems, so we decided Motul would be a good brand to go with, seeing all their success, and they've been a huge help to our team.
Zollinger Racing builds the best aftermarket products available. Products for your UTV or snowmobile, including billet radius rods, billet tie rods, billet steering knuckles, billet steering racks, alternator kits, and much more. All manufactured in the United States in-house at their headquarters in Nibley, Utah. Travis Zollinger and his team test in some of the most brutal conditions, racing in places like the Best in the Desert Mint 400, Ultra 4 King of the Hammers, UTV World Championships, and many more. Visit ZollingerRacingProducts.com and use the code DIRTLIFE to get 10% off your next purchase, and join us on social media at Zollinger Racing Products to see our products in action. Zollinger Racing, the best products, period.
Yeah. We are back with episode 130 of the Dirt Life Show. We're at Four Wheel Parts in Riverside, California. And, man, it's been such a good show already. Thanks very much for Chuck Foreman from Pro Eagle Jacks for being our featured guest tonight. And we really appreciate all you guys, man. Blake Wilkey just joined us for a little bit, so thanks, Blake, for coming on, talking about his stories. Chuck's been able to share some awesome stories about people using the jack pretty crazy, rolling it down a hill on a trophy truck. Man, you probably have stories for days.
I do, and unfortunately, there's so many of them.
When you're on the spot, too.
Yeah, exactly. Like, hey, tell me this cool story. I'm like, I don't know any.
But it always works out like that. But the cool part about it is like, you can probably, how do I say this? Like, the people that don't say anything means that you have a good product because it worked, right? Like, yeah. So that's cool. And just during our commercial break, like we were talking about how much you support the industry, and that's one of the subjects I wanted to talk about is for people that get your product or they post it on social media and you're able to reshare it and you're able to share the love and really support people. You have a warranty on the product. Like, so it's not just about having a cool product and marketing it, right? It's cultivating those relationships, shaking hands, taking care of your customers. Like, that doesn't happen as much as it should these days.
Right. I get so many comments from people that, they'll message me, my girlfriend gets mad at me, but they'll message me on a Saturday or a Sunday, hey, I have an issue, or I have this, or I have a question, or, whatever it may be, my jack lost prime, can you help me? And I'll answer back, and they're like, wow, I didn't expect any kind of answer until Monday, whenever the marketing department got in and got to my question, And I'm like, I am the marketing department. I'm all of it. But if you're in your garage.
Swiss Army knife over here.
Yeah, but if you're in your garage working on a Saturday afternoon and your jack stops working, why wait until Monday to have somebody answer you to help you out?
Yeah, if you have the time, then you can do it. Yeah, clearly, like we were talking about it before the show. In fact, talking about time, thank you to Marcus and all the guys at the Four Wheel Parts here for having us here and taking the time, because they're spending extra time after they shut down the shop to be able to have us here. It's kind of the same point, right? Like, at some point, like, time becomes your most valuable asset, and it's crazy that you still put that much time into your customers. Like, that has to feel good on your end, but it also has to feel really good on their end too.
Yeah, but I've just found out that it works, and now that we have some, a little bit of competition out there, they're finding out the people that have bought a lesser jack are finding out that there is no customer service there.
Yeah.
So I've got to keep it up. I've got to keep that customer service level to a point. I've got to cut it off at some point, but it's 11 or 12 o'clock. I'm not going to answer your DM.
Yeah, because you're going to be sleeping.
Right. Yeah, exactly. But, I do pride myself on that, and it has made a difference.
Yeah, 100%. And I really like that, man. Yeah. John from Desert Squadron said the level of customer service is hard to find these days. Yeah, I agree with that too. And it's hard to keep up with, right? But yeah. I appreciate that you're doing that. So don't ever lose that quality in the business, man. Yeah. All right, so now that we're going to get Steve Bouchard here on in just a little bit, I think in about 3 minutes or so. But as we wait for him to come on, when you saw that it was a necessity for the off-road environment and you released the product, what kind of like reaction and feeling did it feel for you? Because as a human being, it's got to feel good to be able to supply something that somebody needs.
Right.
Like, so what kind of like reaction did people have, and then how did you feel when they reacted that way?
You know what? I'd go to trade shows and I'd talk to people. And one of the funniest of things is I had a friend of my dad's who was looking down at the product. You know, I had worked in the garage with him. I've seen him work with my dad. My dad, he actually worked for my dad for a while. And he walked up and he's sitting there looking at it at one of the shows, and he's like, I'm sure glad somebody thought of this, you know, because we were doing this in the garage and stacking wood blocks and whatever. He's like, who designed this? Because this guy's a genius. And he looks up at me and he goes, "Are you Chuck Foreman?" I'm like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Do you know who I am?" I was like, "Yeah, I saw you walking down the aisle." So he's like, "This is your product?" And yes, it is. So that made me feel real good.
That's super cool.
Yeah, we won the best new product at SEMA, best new off-road product at SEMA in 2017.
Wait, here, hold on.
Thank you.
Welcome.
And that to me was like, that was it. Because there was, you know, FabTech and Skyjacker and Smittybilt and, you know, all of the off-road
the big dogs, yeah,
had something in it. And they all had engineering departments, and they all had, you know, massive employees, and they all spent hours and hours and hours developing this product.
That's got to feel insanely good.
And here I am, took a product that Austin and myself developed and designed, and we won Best New Product of the Year at SEMA.
Dude, did you guys go out? Did you guys go out and celebrate afterwards? Get a big old steak?
You know what? We were in shock for at least a week.
Nice. But that's got to be a good feeling, right? Like, how does that compare in your experience to completing or winning a race? Because those are massive wins.
It is almost the same. You know, we won the Baja 1000, the 40th anniversary of the Baja 1000.
Wait, here, I got to do it again.
And, you know, at the finish line, you know, we had some bad things that happened on the way home, but we were on the highest highs, and I could say that it was, to me, personally, it was almost equal to that.
Yeah, dude, that's so cool. And the level of accomplishment, because you're so dedicated, right? It's not like you just won that award, like, just by showing up, right? Like, you dedicate years to all this stuff, just like you did with your racing, and then finally, when something like that happens, it's got to be so fulfilling, man. Yeah. So I'm stoked that you guys had that happen. So you go through all of this stuff, and one thing that I wanted to ask, because, again, I'm not the big truck guy, but, like, how have UTVs changed the stuff that you look forward to doing, or changed the market when it comes to producing things like the Jacks?
You know what? Actually, UTVs were somewhat of a unintended market for us. You know, the more I saw what was going on, and I tracked all the sales, I tracked all the customers and all the feedback, and I went, wait a minute, you know, probably 3 out of every 5 Jacks that are being sold to a UTV customer.
Really?
Why? Oh, because nobody else builds a product that'll lift the UTV high enough to pull the tires off of it.
Makes sense. Well, right. Unless they're riding mini short course cars like I had.
Yeah. Yeah. So that became, and it still is, probably one of the biggest markets that we have is the UTV.
That's cool. And most people probably go down to their local 4-wheel parts or somewhere to buy those Jacks.
Exactly. Yeah, we have distributors all over the U.S., but definitely 4-wheel parts is the biggest.
Actually, let's do that right now. So 4-wheel parts, obviously, all over the United States, but where are some other places? Maybe there's not a 4-wheel parts close to my house or something.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I can say the other competitor 4-wheel parts here while I'm in the store. I might get,
okay, but you have competitors up there, and then like a local mom and pop shops too?
Yeah, they're all over the place. The SDHQ, CarTech is right up here in Riverside. CarTech is actually one of the first companies that took us on.
Do you offer Jacks on the other coast too, the East Coast and the Central Coast, or central center of the United States too?
We do. Our brand has really grown in the areas that I've physically gone to and talked to people at shows, because it is an expensive product, but it's also a product that people don't necessarily understand so much until they see it in person.
Yeah, totally.
And I haven't been to the East Coast. Hopefully that'll change soon.
Well, now you got everything all stainless. You could go out to S3 Power Sports and soak it in the mud.
Right? Yeah. So Dustin Jones loves the Jacks too, so he's got quite a few of them in their shop. But
Yeah. It's perfect because there's water everywhere out there.
Yep.
I had a good time talking with those guys a little bit back. That's cool that the UTV offering has escalated the business. Not only that, but that you have so many more customers that you can talk with now too. Because what are some of the questions that the customers come to you and ask? Are they preliminary questions before they go buy the jacks? Because I would like to know, like, dispel some of those questions at least on the show.
Yeah, the biggest one is what jack is right for me. People automatically gravitate to the 3-ton, and they, if they have a Toyota Tacoma or a Toyota 4Runner or whatever, it seems like that group is more set on, bigger is better. They're more involved in the forums and such, and, if they get one bit of bad information, or maybe they don't even know it's bad information, if you get one bit of information, it just travels like wildfire.
Yep.
So I return and exchange a lot of 3-ton jacks every year because somebody bought one and it's too big for them.
Got it.
And they realize, like, wow, this is too heavy to lift in and out of my truck every day. I'm not cool with that. Can I get a smaller one now?
Yeah, totally.
Usually it's the same customer that I told to get the smaller jack in the beginning.
Well, yeah, but you brought up a good point earlier in the show is that, like, for me, I would have bought a jack for the UTV, but now I'm thinking, like, okay, well, if the 3-ton is going to, like, solve all these issues, I can lift up the toy hauler, I can lift up the big truck, like, 2,500 or 3,500 truck, then I'll just get that one, and then I'll have the jack of all trades.
Right, yeah, and in that case, yeah, definitely go bigger is better. But, we get a lot of people that, want to put it in their Colorado or their Jeep Wrangler or whatever it may be.
They don't need it, yeah.
Correct, yeah. So they don't have any of those other vehicles to use it on, and it's difficult for them to understand, get the correct vehicle for that, or the correct jack for that vehicle.
Totally. Oh, I mean, you don't want to lift a heavy thing in if you don't. OC1212 just said, yeah, the 2-ton is perfect for his Raptor.
Yep.
Man, that is super cool that you offer all these things for different uses too, right? So, like, if I was going to fill my garage up right now, I would probably go buy the 3-ton so that I could have that for overall use, right? But then I'd get some of this other stuff to put on the UTV while I'm cruising around, just for safety's sake, and take it with me when I'm out on the trails.
Yeah.
I think that'd be cool. There's been so many times that I've, like, had 4 dudes lift up the side of a UTV and set it on a rock.
Yep.
Like, and those dudes usually call me the next day and be like, dude, I think I got a hernia. So I'm sure you've heard a million stories like that.
Yeah, definitely. And we could actually get that a lot in the in the Midwest. People are like, oh, I just got a winch. I just tie it around a tree and winch the car up to the side.
And lift it up as high as I possibly can.
Yeah.
What's been some of your favorite moments in the off-road world? Has it been, with Pro Eagle, or has it been spending time with your family at the races, or maybe a combination?
Yeah, all the above. I met my girlfriend through Pro Eagle because of that. I slid into her DMs, and she finally was accepted.
That's the way it always works, right?
Yeah. So that's been cool. But, just the people I meet in the off-road world. I mean, everybody's cool. You mentioned it before. I have a working relationship with almost every single one of our customers.
Yeah.
And I think that people gravitate to Pro Eagle because of that, too.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty important part, especially at this day and age. But what's, like, I guess where I'm leading to this is, like, what makes you so attracted to the dirt or to off-road? Because there's a million places that you could place this product now, right? I mean, you could put it on tow trucks. You could put it on anything. Like, there's so many places that it could go, but your main focus right now is being in the dirt and off-road.
Yeah, I think that's, there's that saying, if you enjoy what you do, you never work a day in your life. And I enjoy what I do. There's asphalt stuff, and there's plenty of other needs for jacks out there.
Yep.
Anything with wheels on it is going to need a jack at some point. But that's where my passion is, and that's what I love, so that's what I'm going to stick with.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, I've seen people use, not necessarily a Pro Eagle, but whatever jack, like, to bend back a roll cage, like, set it in between there and then move a piece of pipe, or, like, try to straighten a frame at a body shop. Like, there's all kinds of crazy things that jacks can be used for. Yeah. So that's why I'm saying, like, you're so focused on the one little niche, you must really love it.
I do, and I actually I would say that there is plans to expand out of that. The guys that racing any cars that have to pit on asphalt, they don't need the skid plate, and they don't need the extension, they don't need all that stuff, but they need a jack that's easier to move around on the asphalt.
Yeah, totally.
We went to Long Beach Formula Drift and went there with my son, and you know, a lot of people are like, what are you doing here? I'm like, there's horsepower and motors. Like, of course I'm here, you know.
Did you like it?
Oh, for sure.
I've
yeah.
heard such good things about it.
Yeah, yeah. But they have a need because they're moving jacks around and, you know, they're dragging these, you know, heavy whatever jack in there, you know, it's as they're going along, and like, we need a better solution, you know, like, hey, wait a minute, you're the Pro Eagle guy, right? Yeah. Can you help us, please? So.
That's so funny. Everybody calls me because half the people that watch the show, sometimes, like, I'll see them at an event, they have zero idea what my name is. They go, oh, that's the Dirt Life guy. It's the Pro Eagle guy, too.
The Pro Eagle guy, yeah.
That's the way it works, all right? Yeah, John from Desert Squadron said farming and agriculture could benefit greatly, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that people always tell you what could benefit the most, right? Like,
yeah. Well, actually, we sell a lot in the farming and agriculture. The problem is that those guys are working, and they're working hard,
right,
and they're not stopping to take a picture of it. So there's no record of the fact that the farm guys are using it, but we sell a lot of.
So agriculture guys are not social media guys?
I wouldn't say that, but for the most part, no.
Maybe we should get into the marketing of agriculture stuff, start helping out, man.
Right? Yeah,
start plugging them in.
Yep.
That's super cool that you're able to understand where the product actually goes, though, because that means that you still have your feet on the ground and are really into doing the business with the customers.
Yeah.
So what has been the biggest growth point for the company? Has it been going to all these events and shaking hands?
Yeah, obviously the SEMA award was, you know, a really big boost for us.
Right.
Social media has helped a ton.
Yeah.
You know, in the beginning, you know, it was there's zero marketing budget, you know. So as you know, how do we grow this? You know, the only thing that was free to me was social media or my time.
Right.
So I went out to, you know, forum meets, and, you know, the Tacoma Club would, you know, go to King Taco and hang out and whatever. So here I am with my jacks in the tailgate. And
where's the invite to the taco place?
Yeah,
too?
right. Yeah. Or again, you know, social media. So those things were free. It was costing me my time. Social media cost me my time as well.
That's good.
But you know, that's what's been big in the growth of the brand.
Ian just said he's going to see you in Coos Bay, huh?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah, that'll be pretty cool. Are you going to take your Honda Talent up there too?
Yeah. Actually, we went last year. No, I think it was getting the turbo installed, so I wasn't able to take it last year.
Oh, but now you're going to get up there and shred, huh?
Yeah.
Andy Jeremio said, did the Pro Eagle start with just the Jeeps?
It started with the 2-ton OG, and it had very little. I mean, yes, Jeeps were included in it, but you know, it was all in off-road racing.
Maybe he's into Jeeps, dude.
Yeah, but it definitely expanded there really quick.
I love hearing that story because it means that you created something that's really beneficial to the whole industry, and now there's a lot of people using it. What has been some of the milestones that you've seen during the process, like people using it and succeeding, or maybe to win a race or something like that?
Yeah, it's been there's quite a few stories there. You know, one of the ones that sticks out to me is you know, Bryce Menzies was leading the Vegas to Reno race, and had an issue with his jack, and for whatever reason didn't have a jacker that worked, and pulled over at some dudes that were just hanging out watching the race, and they had a Pro Eagle, and they were able to change his tire so he could carry on and finish.
Nice, dude.
He didn't win, unfortunately, but he did finish.
Dude, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I would love to go up to Coos Bay too, Ian, but we'll see what happens with the time schedule. It would be cool to get up there, though. I've been wanting to go for a couple years now. So, and then getting into the overland stuff, this has been a topic that I've always wanted to talk about, like, because I like what they're doing. You know what I mean? Like, the Dirt Life has a Sprinter van, and we take it to produce all these shows and stuff. But I always see those guys with van life, and I'm like, dude, I'm super into, like, the whole traveling thing. Yep. I would love to do that. And the Overland guys are kind of doing the same thing, but on a grander level. And you got to experience a lot of that this weekend. Is that something that you're into, too?
I you know, back when before I was exposed to overlanding, we just called it camping.
Yeah.
So, but now, being there and being involved in it, it's definitely a very cool arena to be in.
Yeah, it seems like it would be super cool. But and those guys put it like, so overlanding is when you put all the stuff that you can just take your truck or whatever out, and then you can just camp like on the truck. It's self-sufficient, right?
Right, yeah.
Like off the grid, so to speak.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, instead of having your motorhome or your trailer or whatever it may be, you got everything that you need in your vehicle, and you drive it up there and you pull your tent up, and there you are camping in the wilderness for, days or weeks at a time.
I feel like that's super cool. Chris Borbotti, what's up, man? I feel like that's super cool, though, but, like, there's a bunch of stuff that I would probably miss, like, if I was doing my overlanding setup, right? Like, let's just say I get a Tacoma or a Tundra or something, and I, like, deck it all out and get it ready. Did you see any of that stuff, like people not having the necessities to be able to do this when you were at the Overland Expo?
Yeah, that's actually one of the biggest things. It was a learning experience for me, seeing those vehicles that were completely decked out with, thousands of dollars worth of equipment on it. And then you ask the question on what you're doing for a jack, and they're like, I don't know, my factory jack, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, well, do you know
That's
your factory
crazy.
jack won't work? And they're like, no, I don't. The wife standing in the background going, yeah, he doesn't even know where his factory jack is. So,
yeah, well, that brings up a good point, though, is that's kind of the same thing that we're talking about as a company. Like, the suggestion from you would probably be like, well, you can use some of these products to do these things if you get if you overlooked it.
Yeah.
And John from Desert Squadron, I actually had this conversation with him a long time ago, and we were talking about trauma kits. People space that too. Like, if you're overlanding and something happens, like, you need something to protect yourself or protect your vehicle,
right? Yeah.
To be able to fix it. So yeah, that's crazy, man. But it's cool that you're starting to get into that market too. And I think that market is still, I don't know what you're gonna call it, brand new, but it's super new.
It is growing. But honestly, what I saw when I got a chance to walk around, I went up and did the show myself. So that's kind of sucked. It was tough, but I took the chance to walk around before and after the shows. And what I saw, there is a possible blend into what we do.
Oh, really?
One of those overlanding rigs, say, that went down to Baja and went to go pre-run for the 500 or the 1,000, those guys are set. Like, we pack a full-size truck with everything that we need for a week, and you've got stuff bulging out of there, and you've got to use tie downs, and you've got to use the net to hold all your shit in there.
Yep.
And those guys are like, no. We got a compartment for that. We got an apartment for this. This part that's this big collapses down to this. Those guys have it down.
They're organized.
Right. There's a blend for
Dude, I like their style
into what we do for sure.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I like that style though.
Yeah.
I just like being OCD and organized. So
yeah.
So it's probably pretty cool for you. Did it make you want to build an overland rig or not just yet?
Yeah, definitely.
That would be super cool to have. So the Pro Eagle overland rig is going to all these events.
Yep.
What about some of the people that you've met over the years? Like, you've met awesome people like the Boxo people. You've met just a ton of cool people, and you still have relationships with all of those guys. Do you get to take some time away from work and be able to maybe go to the dunes or go hang out with some of your friends?
That's what actually is cool about the UTV Takeover events, is there is a good blend of going out and playing around and off-road riding. King of the Hammers is good for, having a decent amount of blend, although we're balls to the walls from, sun up to sundown there. But we do make time to get out and play and, whatever when we can.
King of the Hammer's such a long, dude, it's a long week, so to speak.
11 to 14 days or so.
I know,
around
man.
there. But yeah, the relationships that I built there in all of those industries has just been, we couldn't replace that at all.
Yeah, totally. And then you get to spend time with them aside from that too? Like,
I wish I got to spend more time with people, but, work definitely has my first attention. So.
Yeah, always, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to get Steve Bouchard on in just a little bit here. Let's see. We want to get him to join from the Rugged page because they have some fun stuff going on too. Yeah. Man, even like Blake Wilkey and Bouchard and all these guys, it's probably got to be pretty meaningful for you to be able to understand that you've had these relationships come up through the years, because that stuff doesn't always happen, right? Like, it's got to be pretty fulfilling.
Yeah, and it's definitely, I can say that, the product has a purpose there, and we have a product that people like and they need. So that definitely opens the door for the opportunity. But we're not just a product, we stand behind it. And, my sister's gone to help, and my, friend Kyle goes to help there. My girlfriend goes to help. So, people get to hang out and like, dude, this is a family.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You're like, yeah, but now you're family too.
Yeah, and then it works out that you guys go riding and do all that stuff together.
Yep.
It's pretty cool that you guys get to be able to experience that. It's kind of like the off-road culture, right?
Yeah, definitely.
That's the way that that's the reason that the Dirt Life started, was because of all that, man. Like, I'm such a big fan of the off-road culture, and I like the fact that we can all do that and hang out. One of the people that I like hanging out with the most just joined us. We get to see him at all these different events. From Rugged Radio, Steve Bouchard. What's up, homie?
He's busier than I am.
What's going on? Hey, you got a twofer. We got Gonzalez here, too. You got Steve Squared.
Oh, Steve Squared? Both dudes. Hey, what's up, Gonzalez? How are you, buddy?
Good to see you guys.
Yeah, you guys as well. So what's going on in Rugged Country?
Oh man, so much stuff. But currently we are working on a Destination Polaris Project X right now, building a really cool fire truck out of a Ranger Polaris. So,
a fire truck?
Yeah, it was good timing. Yeah, fire truck.
Really?
Rescue
Did you hear about this?
Yeah, exactly. Big response.
Dude,
it's got a siren and lights, so it's good.
So it makes it official. You guys always have some of the coolest projects, dude. Whose brainchild was this?
Well, this is kind of a collaborative, but Greg, a lot of Greg and us. We, obviously Rugged always likes to give back, and this is our way to give back to our fire departments and that kind of stuff in California. So we're building a full-on little rescue UTV, and then we're giving it to a well-deserving fire department that doesn't even know they're getting it yet.
Dude, how cool is that, right? Yeah, so giving back to the community. Hey, so we were just talking with Chuck, from Pro Eagle about that same kind of thing. Like, you guys are living your dirt life as well, giving back and doing all these things. You guys are really always hanging out at events and really hands-on with all the customers and stuff. And Chuck does a lot of that same stuff with Pro Eagle, so you guys probably get to see each other a lot at different events.
Chuck? Who's Chuck?
The Pro Eagle guy.
Yeah, the Pro Eagle guy.
No, absolutely. As you know, the off-road community with all of the events and stuff, the industry people alone, I mean, we literally travel together. We're like a bunch of carnival people, basically.
Yeah, just a bunch of carnies.
So, in fact, Chuck is involved in this Project X as well. He sent one of his sweet UTV jacks with the power tank, little CO2 cartridge and stuff for it. It's going to be rad.
Something that looks a little bit similar to this bad boy?
Yeah, something just like that. Yeah.
Right on. So you guys do get to see each other a lot. One of the questions that I was going to ask, because Chuck has been telling me how good of a driver he is and how he learned how to drive a Class 8 truck and stuff like that. Have you seen him drive yet?
I have never seen him drive. No.
Never?
I thought they only let him operate the jacks.
Yeah. He gets to go on so many off-road
He's a jack
adventures.
man. I didn't know he was a driver.
Well, so I was leading this to two ways. I was letting them kind of make fun of us here on the studio, at your expense, Chuck, unfortunately. But then I was going to go back to them, and say, "What the f? Why can't we go on the taco tour with you guys?"
Hey. The invitation's always open. The 1,000's coming. Well, the 500's in 2 weeks.
Yep.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Or no.
It's a week.
Oh, crap, a week.
Dude, where did all the time go, right?
Right. Oh, my goodness.
Man, that is such a cool project to be involved with. So now you guys are able to collaborate and give back to the fire department, which is fantastic. So that's going to be pretty cool. Does that mean that you're going to go up there and kind of hang out with them and stuff? Or
I wish. They actually did one a couple months back, and they asked me to come on and talk about the product in person, and I just couldn't get away. It's still just me. We're still in an infant stage. Even as big as we are, we're still just me. So I couldn't get away to get up there. But it was a good opportunity. Unfortunately, that I missed it. But Steve stood in for me. Actually, both Steves stood in for me. And we're actually using that video on our website now. So.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Look at that, dude. The collaboration, dude.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, so basically you guys work for Rugged and Pro Eagle now.
Right.
Well,
we're still waiting on that check, though.
Well, it seems like every time we go out, we have a need for a jack.
Right.
I don't know why.
Yeah,
but we do.
I could just see Bouchard. I forgot what the name of the bike is with the big tires. I can just see him jacking it up with a Pro Eagle.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Dude, do you have a TW jack? That's what we need.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
We can mount it on the rack. It'd be perfect.
That would be pretty cool. Hey, so what kind of stuff have you guys been getting into lately other than the build? Have you guys been able to have some fun or go to any events?
I personally, well, he hasn't. I have. So I did a really sweet bar 10 ride with Wes Miller, and ended up meeting Walter and Howard, who led and chased the whole event there. Literally, like, these guys they're like my family now. So that was really rad. We took the General out there, and that's when we, lost the right rear trailing arm. But Steve lost that once before as well.
It was a V-lock failure.
It was. It was.
That doesn't sound like a good trip.
So anyways, we got that
They
all.
got to use the jacks.
Right.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Right. Right. So anyway, we did that, and then a couple weeks ago was at Sand Hollow with the whole adventure rally on the rocks, and had our talent out there, and had the in-laws with me. So it was pretty rad. Got some really good content with 4 people in the car, and it was
It
good.
was full on family mode.
I was family and work.
Dude.
I don't know how. Well, yeah.
That's perfect. So Gonzalez and myself are sitting over here like, dude, we're so jealous because neither of us got to do any of that fun stuff.
Steve's pretty much on vacation full time.
Right. Well,
Just out there having a blast.
Well,
but
we got
that's
we've got the 500 coming up, and that's always good. We get to go to Mexico, see our Baja family, and it's funny. A lot of people from the States, we don't ever see them except in Baja, so that's always a good trip.
that is a trip.
Yeah, it's crazy, right? Like how much we don't see each other, just like, let's just say for lunch, and instead we see each other at all these great events. So I appreciate the off-road culture like that. Hey, so one thing I was going to ask you guys that we kind of already touched on with Chuck is, his product saves a lot of people a lot of trouble, right? Like, so if you get in trouble, you can use it to get out of trouble, or it's easier to lift it in the garage or whatever it is. But you guys kind of operate a business that's on the same level, right, with communication. So there's a lot of things that help. So I don't know, maybe expand on that a little bit more, because both products aren't just like, I don't know what you want to call it. Like, let's just say wrapping your car. It's not just a cool factor thing. It's actually something that helps people.
Yeah, well, we agree. No, well, you know what? It's funny. So going way back. So, but I've been in off-road. I mean, growing up, my parents were into off-road.
Like 2-3 years he's been in off-road.
Exactly. But it's funny, like you think about the intercom, for example. So Greg started all this intercom business in off-road 31 years ago now. And it's funny, for a long time, a lot of people didn't understand, well, why do I need to buy something to talk to the guy that's next to me?
Yep.
Well, it's not like this. I mean, we all know, even in an enclosed cab, I mean, we've got, enclosed cab pre-runners and that kind of thing. And yeah, maybe they're quiet going down the road, but you get in the rough, you got big tires, you got bypass shocks that are just clicking in the background, and just Heims and everything else. You got to yell at each other.
Yeah, totally.
And I always laugh. And so just like Steve got to do with his family recently, I used to do a working vacation where we traveled to Idaho.
Working
vacation. Work, yeah. But we would go to Idaho, and we'd take about a week and a half to get there, and we'd stop and off-road all over the place. And what was funny to me is the conversations we'd have in the car. It wasn't like we're doing 45, 50 down a dirt road, and through the rough and everything. And we're like, hey, what do you guys want to have for dinner? It's hilarious, the conversations you have.
Yeah, it is kind of crazy.
Car.
Now you can talk about getting tacos after your ride, right? We just had a comment come in. I don't know who it was from, but
wait a minute. We have tacos on our ride.
Oh, look at these guys. So we're all there amateurs over here, dude. We're not doing it right. We're not doing it right like the Steves. So we had a couple comments come in. I couldn't see them. They went so fast. But thank you to Pro Eagle and to Rugged Radios for the products that you guys make. So both appreciated very much in the off-road culture. So it's kind of the same way with your jacks, right? Like the same thing as what they're talking about. I'll go full circle and say, like, you really didn't know that you needed it until you needed it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's kind of a weird way to sell a product or market a product because, like, Steve just said, you could yell at the top of your lungs, but it's not the same, right?
Yeah.
You could fail and use a rock like I did on the side of the trail with 4 dudes lifting up your car, but You could have the right. And dude,
Jack.
I still get
But it
shit.
sure makes your life easier.
I still get shit from my friends too. There was 4 dudes lifted up the back of the car while I took the tire on and off, and every single one of those guys called me the next day and said they had a hernia that I owed them for something. It's just the way that it goes.
Cheaper to buy the Jack.
Yep, exactly. Would have been.
Well, so George gives big balls. Is what he does.
Wow,
That's what
okay.
he does.
Hey man, we've all had those issues, right? Do you remember the first? Do you guys remember the first time that you saw the Pro Eagle equipment?
Shoot.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah,
It's
so
kind of become the staple, really.
it really
I mean,
has.
Yeah, and which is fantastic. I mean, and especially in this industry, is putting yourself there and saying that you are what it is. I mean, we talk about it all the time. We tell our customers what they need, and Chuck's been doing just that.
It's pretty cool to see that, right? Especially coming from these guys, because these guys have been leaders in the industry. So it's got to feel like a good compliment to hear.
Definitely, yeah. That's why I like working with them, because they're at the top of their trade, and if those guys believe in it, then other people look up to what they do. So.
Hey, what's one of your guys' favorite products that you use? Is it the 3-ton, or do you guys use the what's this one called again? The Phoenix DS?
We're all about the big wheels.
The big wheels.
All about them. We've got my friend Rob here.
Come over here, Rob.
Yep, come on over. So Rob's an old friend of mine. He's really old.
I'm really old. Yeah.
He's a firefighter, so he's helping us with his firefighter build.
Yeah.
But he just got to use a Pro Eagle Jack for the first time.
Yes. So it was awesome. The roll around and the maneuverability of that thing. I'm sold. I got to have one now.
There you go. Well, it looks like they got you a new customer, Chuck.
Yeah, see, and that's what it's all about. You put it in
Well,
front
yeah,
of
and I
people,
mean,
they get to
I've
experience
been
it.
one of the cheap firemen and using one of the Harbor Freights, and now I got to step up. I got to step up my game.
Well, Can-Am Life just commented in and said his first Pro Eagle Jack for the shop after KOH or at KOH and loves it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. So Rob's going to say the same thing. Hey, so we just heard that Chuck likes when you take pictures of him and share it on social media. So please, Rob, adhere to that so that he can share it for you too. Gain you some more followers over there, buddy.
There you go.
Sounds good. Absolutely. We'll do it.
Not stalkers, followers.
Right.
Well, as long as we make that yeah, you got to make that distinction. That's critical.
Wait, so Chuck just said that he had to slide into Jenn's DMs over there, so that's how they met. Is that what's happening to you, Rob? Are you getting a lot of people sliding in your DMs as well?
We'll see. I don't know.
Yeah, he will once I share his
trying to
video.
figure out social media.
He doesn't even know what we're doing right now. He just walked
We're on a phone call.
Oh, that's fantastic, man.
Is this FaceTime?
Right.
Marketing at its best right here.
Right. Yeah, best and worst. You're welcome.
Hey, so we were talking about funny stories and or just plain stories with the Pro Eagle Jack, and Chuck's had a bunch of them. Blake Wilkey had one where he ran over it. I saw guys running over it with the chase trucks and flying out of the car in Baja. And these things are super durable, but do you guys have any other stories?
Well, my latest one obviously was when I, broke the arm on the General, and that Jack pretty much saved us out at, we were out in the Grand Canyon. So that and max tie downs
Right.
for the win. There were so many people said that, wow, those max tie downs, it'll last longer than that Super ATV arm will.
So
it literally got us back 20 some miles. So.
That's crazy. Chuck actually told us a story. I don't know what car. I forgot what you said. It was a Jeep or something. But they actually took off the left rear of the car, put the Pro Eagle under it and a bunch of straps, and drove it 6 miles out.
Perfect.
Yep, love it.
Perfect.
Dude,
Love it.
Well, we've used it, I don't know how many times under trailers to move trailer. Out at KOH, we used it under the trailer to reposition the trailer so we could go get my truck that I broke again.
Dude, that's genius, though. Dude, you could put a little ball on the top of the mount.
We actually make a hitch ball
You need to
attachment
make
for
a
them.
new
Really?
Dude, that's a great idea.
Wait,
you
I
need
got.
a trailer ball adapter.
I think this is the most I've ever hit this same button on the show. Dude, that's fantastic.
I like that idea, the trailer ball adapter.
That'd be great.
You know, he said he has one.
I'll have to get you guys one then.
Oh.
We'll see you in Coos Bay.
Oh, yeah.
I'll get you one.
Yeah, so
All right, sounds good.
Coos Bay sounds
Bay.
Coos Bay sounds like it's going to be a good time. What cars are you guys taking up there?
If I go up there, probably the SS1 and the beach buggy. The beach buggy's running good right now, so I'd love to get it back in the dunes again.
Yeah, that would be pretty fun to see. Yeah, that would be pretty fun to see out there. What about the TTs or TWs, whatever they're called?
Ooh,
No, man.
you could take the T-dubs out, but you got to have
Those are always fun.
It
It doesn't matter where they're at, too. They're always fun.
Right.
Is Rob
Right.
gonna
So
go out there
with
with you guys too?
What's that?
Rob gonna go out there with you guys
No,
too?
Sadly enough, no. I'm with our staffing levels here in California. We are so hunkered in working fires and staffing stations that free time right now is just unattainable for us.
Yeah. Well, I hear the
So what he's
serious.
trying to do is get this car that we're building for his department.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Can't blame him.
So he's sucking up. I did hear the seriousness of that statement, but pretty much what I heard in my head was, no, I got to stay back and just tune into my DMs because after this we're gonna have all kinds of stuff.
Right.
Yeah, I'm basically waiting until November. November is Mexico time.
Oh, there we go. So big Baja
Yes.
guy down there.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, definitely love my Mexico time.
Rob actually had Wilson, Steve's Bronco, Rugged's, I don't know whose Bronco it is. Steve drives it all. It's Steve's. Before we had it. So, yeah, he's a big Baja guy.
Nice.
Yeah, actually, I proposed to my wife on the tailgate of that Bronco down on a little playa in Mexico.
Really?
So Wilson, yes, I did. Yes.
Dude, how sweet is that? That's a
pretty
good.
awesome.
Yeah, that's a good story.
Yeah.
Hopefully
Absolutely.
you guys are still together then, huh?
Yeah.
I was gonna.
I don't know why, but she stuck with me. Yeah.
Well, I was just thinking in my head, like all these people sliding into his DMs and how mad his wife's gonna be.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh man, that's cool. So you guys, like I said, you guys get to see Chuck here at a lot of different events and stuff like that. It's probably cool to see another brand like his growing so much and doing so well with the amount of effort that it takes. We were just talking about time and how much time you guys dedicate to it. So you got to appreciate the workload that he's taken on and what he's doing to help the off-road community.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially with him being as small a company as he is and growing so much and going to all of these events. With us, it's hard. I mean, we do 90-some events, and it's freaking it's hard to get out there to get to everything.
Well,
and still focus on the company.
Yeah. A lot of people don't understand that. Social media, so a lot of times it looks like nothing but fun and games, out at events and everything. And
it is for me, though.
Yeah,
No,
it is for you guys both know it's a lot of work in that.
Yeah, it is.
But it's also very rewarding work. That we talk about all the time. That grassroots guerrilla marketing, you can't beat it. Like there's no money you can pay to beat that kind of marketing. So yeah, the guys that are out there in the field, that are out there at the events, making it happen, like those are people that speak to our hearts for sure.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%.
And the other thing with Chuck and Steve and I, because we do product development here, it's seeing what you've brought to market in use and seeing how beneficial it is.
Yeah.
That is rewarding in itself. Just because sometimes, the last couple of years, we've kind of pulled back from events a little bit. When you start going back out, yeah, exactly. But when you go back out and you see all of the stuff that you did in the past really starting to come to fruition and people using it and raving about it, and it's just such a gratifying feeling to have that. And I'm sure Chuck's the same way, to see his jacks, that is the jack to have in off-road.
Yeah, it's definitely cool to see that and the fulfillment that you get out of it too. Corey Levin, X3 Night Rider, said, "Tell Steve I got fresh powder to stay off my rear bumper."
He just can't go fast enough is all.
Oh, I think we already got a Coos Bay war going on here.
Yeah.
Right? Corey's a good dude. He's a hell of a driver, too, especially in that freaking limo that he's got.
Oh, is he driving an X3 4-seater?
I don't know.
Oh.
Yeah, 4-seater, yeah.
Dude,
he's got the whole family in there, and they just rail. They're all about, 5 foot tall, so the cage is really short, too, but he rails.
So
he rails hard.
He's got that thing built for speed, it sounds like. Right on.
It does, yeah.
So, yeah, I appreciate you guys coming on and hanging out and talking with us for a little bit. We're going to get Russ from Buggy Whips on in just a second here. So next thing that you guys are probably going to do together is that Coos Bay trip, huh?
Yeah, we may see him in Baja, but if not, we'll definitely see him in Coos Bay.
Yeah.
You going down with a team, Chuck, or?
Adrian's asking me to go down there and help him, so we'll see if he can twist my arm hard enough.
Cool. Right.
We'll see you there.
We'll see you down there, Baja Burrow.
Yeah. Thank you guys very much for joining us. We appreciate you coming on too, Rob, as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you, guys. And just so everyone knows, Rugged will be in Baja Wednesday of next week. If you guys need anything, please share. We have come to you service, so we'll go to you.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thank you guys both. I appreciate everything. And we'll see you guys down there.
All right, hey, I'm going to do one more swing around. So here's the build we're doing right now.
Oh, check that bad boy out.
Stuff here. Yeah. So air conditioned cab, but of course, we've got this too.
Uh-oh, the whole setup, dude.
I saw Steve was building one the other day. I didn't even know he had.
Right.
Dude, that thing.
All righty, guys. And of course, we got the pre-runner back here, the good stuff, the fun stuff.
Dang, dude, there's so much fun stuff. We could spend a whole show just looking around the shop right there. Well, dude, keep up the good work, guys. I appreciate you guys, obviously, the builds and stuff that you guys do and keep us a part of on social media. But when you're giving back, it means that much more. So keep up the good work over there at Rugged, and thank you guys for taking the time.
Right on. Thanks.
Thank you, guys.
See you guys.
See you later. Good luck.
Super cool, man. This goes back to what they were talking about and what we've been talking about on the show so much is the amount of, what do you want to call it, like love and caring and passion that we all have for the off-road world or off-road community. But it goes back to like giving back, right? Like giving to the fire department and really helping out and doing all that stuff, man. It makes you feel so good. I mean, we just had a fun little conversation with these guys, but there's some true meaning behind it.
Yeah, there is. We actually work with the Bureau of Land Management. We work with the Forestry Department. We work with quite a different variety of people that are out there giving back, that are doing public service, and they need the jack. They need the jack to work on their vehicles or rescue people in need, and it's been very rewarding working with those people for sure.
Yeah, it is neat though, and that's cool that you're able to actually give back to them, right? And like see when it actually helps them, because the Bureau of Land Management, those dudes rip on those freaking vehicles, dude. Yeah. They shred them so hard.
They do.
They take them out. Okay, look, I think we have one of your BFFs of all time, right? Yeah, we got him on the show. So, Buggy Whips founder Russ, what's up, dude? How are you?
What's happening, guys? Not much, just hanging out, watching the show.
Right on. It's kind of cool to see what those Steves got up to, right? Well, and Rob, too, our new best friend, Rob. But, hey, so when was the first time you met Chuck?
6 years ago.
Whoa.
So I think it was about 6 years ago. It feels like an eternity. Yeah, Chuck and I have known – honestly, it feels like Chuck and I have known each other our entire life. But I probably met Chuck roughly about 6 years ago.
Yeah, I think it was at UTV World Championship in Laughlin.
Oh, right on.
I was helping Adrian, and he was competing in the pit crew competition. And so I was getting ready to go out there. I was nervous because I was the jack guy, obviously. But he's like, hey, I want to introduce you to one of my friends and my other sponsors, Russ. And I'm like, oh, who's this guy with the long hair? And, Blake Wilkey looks like. And then I think it was just a couple months later we actually did a show together in Moab.
I thought you were going to say, did you ask him about hair products?
Yeah. All the girls ask him about hair products because he's got luscious hair. So.
But yeah, on a serious note, so you see him and then you start collaborating with him or what?
No, actually, yeah, we were both going to the same show. Actually, I think I may have talked him into going to Moab. And so we drove his Duramax diesel, pulling his stacker trailer with crosswinds, and he's like this for 18 hours.
Just saw it at the steering wheel.
Yeah, driving us to Moab. So we got to talk a lot about where we came and how we he took over the company from his grandfather.
Yep.
And made it took it from the fiberglass whips with the flag into what it is today. And, we shared a lot of the same struggles and the same battles and the same victories. And
building businesses kind of parallel.
Correct. Yeah. And it just it was a good mix.
It's cool too to see, because you've gotten a lot of the comments too and the accolades throughout the show, and Russ is getting a bunch of people commenting in saying that they love the product as well. And Jason also said that customer service is so key, and the Russ has just as good customer service too. It's crazy, right? So some of those things that you guys are talking about or that have commented in, those are just the way that you guys are. Like, and that's what breeds I don't know what you want to call it, the successful nature, right? But it's not different to you guys. That's how you guys really are, right?
Yeah.
And it makes a big difference, and that's probably why you guys are such good friends.
Yeah. Russ is very genuine, and I try to be the same way. I'm quiet, genuine. Russ is not quiet. He's the opposite. But everything he says is genuine. There's nothing that comes out of his mouth that isn't true.
Have you seen any times that actually, you know what? Let's revert it over onto Russ. What's the craziest stories that you've seen of people like breaking whips, or like just funny stories about installation, or something that's happened in your world, Russ, with the Buggy Whips company?
Honestly, there's so many stories that we could do an entire show on it. I get it, right? People come from all different walks of life, and they don't necessarily understand. I get people all the time that call me and they ask what 12 volts is. I had a customer the other day that called, and he said, I want to talk about the product. I received it. And I said, okay, what's going on? And he said, it doesn't work. And I said, well, what do you mean it doesn't work? And he said, well, I opened the tube and it wasn't lit.
Yeah, you didn't plug it in.
So did you put like power to it, or what's the deal? He's like, no, I just expected it to be lit. Yeah.
Yeah.
And unicorns come out of the tube too when it opens. No, but
hey, we all like unicorns.
Hey, who doesn't like a unicorn, right? We all want a mythical horse with a horn out of its head, right? I think that would just be awesome. But we get all kinds of requests, right? And we try to take our time to answer them and make sure that we help everybody out. Truly, at the end of the day, I can't express this enough, but it's about safety, just like Chuck's Jack is. And I really genuinely want to make the off-road scene safer, and not just off-road, but no matter what it is. And for us, really one of the biggest, hearing Chuck talk earlier about SEMA and how they won, and that was really this big accolade for them. For us, it was actually, it was KOH this year. The dust was so bad at KOH, and we had talking, with Steve and those guys, they just did they're doing the fire vehicle. We had people come up to us at fire departments and everything. They're like, we're going to die out here if it's not for the product.
Yeah.
If we can't be seen, we are honestly going to get hit, and somebody's going to get hurt. And I can't stress that enough about, a near miss is only a near miss because nothing happened, right? So did somebody see the whip and dust, or did somebody see it where maybe they wouldn't have seen you before? And, and near miss is only that. So that was a huge thing for us. So, crazy stories. Probably was Ruslan rolling his car at UTV Takeover and not breaking a whip. He actually bent the tab, 1/4-inch thick tab on the car, bent the roof of the car, and didn't break the whip at all.
Dude,
we really want this whip to hold up to no matter what you hit at it.
Yeah, so
Kyle hit trees with it.
Going on what we were just talking about, a comment come in that said, Can-Am Life said, did you tell him to just snap it and then shake it around and then it would start glowing?
Halloween glow stick.
Yeah, like a Halloween glow stick.
That would have been a good response.
That would have been fantastic.
Yeah, that would have been a good response.
Can-Am Life with the jokes. Can-Am Life with the jokes. But so one thing that I took out of what you were saying, though, Russ, is that the whips, they kind of are like that now. They're like a flashy thing that's become a lack of a better term, a fashion statement, and then it's gone away from the safety point. So like the safety thing is actually what whips were for in the first place.
Right. That's actually where we came from. There was no whips before us. We started in 1967. We're actually the oldest company in the world at what we do. And, that's really, oh, thank you. That's really what this is about, right? And it took us a long time, a lot like Chuck. Chuck really hit the nail on the head. Is him and I have a lot of the same struggles, right? Everybody looks at a jack and says, well, I can go to Harbor Freight and buy a jack, and I can use blocks of wood. Until the blocks of wood come out or the jack falls backwards, as we've seen on Instagram videos where somebody's jacking it up and the block of wood falls and the jack comes back and the car falls.
Yep.
And then somebody's hurt, right? It's the same thing for us. All these people go, well, I can buy color changing, or I can buy this whip on Amazon, or I can buy this. And I'm like, well, that's great. And it meets the law until it breaks, right? And then somebody maybe clips you. I mean, the greatest things about UTVs is that it's allowed the deserts to be saved, right? Every family can go out and buy a UTV now. You can go to Glamis, you can go ride trails, you can ride it on the street, you can do anything you want with one product now. It's single-handedly saved off-road, but it's also allowed everybody that has never driven. I mean, when I grew up, you guys grew up, it was the same thing, right? We started on a three-wheeler where we nearly died, or a dirt bike, and then you worked your way up to a sand car, a pre-runner. But now you can essentially go and buy that pre-runner for $300 to $600 a month, go out and have fun. So if you don't take the time to buy the proper safety equipment and buy the proper tools to do the job, that could really turn serious in a hurry.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point to bring up, right? Is that same statement. We kind of brushed on it a little bit before with like the trauma kits and your product. Like, you have to be, I don't know, well-rounded and understanding, like maybe getting a flashy exhaust or something is not the first product that you need to buy, right? Like you can get the other stuff that really makes it so that you can go out there and do things like legally ride at night in the dunes, or help your buddy lift up his car off the ground in the sand, like any of that stuff. Like, it's funny because, like, I don't know, I guess I'm kind of guilty of it too. Like, I don't think of those things as the first thing. I should educate myself more on it too.
Yeah, maintenance and safety are probably the biggest things of any off-road adventure. So,
yeah, so it's good that you guys are bringing this up. So thanks for bringing that up, Russ. So a couple of things that I wanted to ask was, like, since you guys are kind of growing your companies together, that means that you guys have probably spent some fun times actually going out and having fun together too.
More adventures than we could talk about in a single episode.
That's pretty cool. Where do you guys usually go? Like, if you guys are going to go out and have fun, you guys go in Southern California, Acatia, you guys go to the dunes. Like, what's the place of choice?
For me, I'm a huge dune guy, born and raised in Glamis. I mean, I love anything to do with sand. If it's sand, it's my life. And for Chuck, it's off-road and racing. And so I think that's what makes Chuck and I really good friends as well, is he goes to the sand and maybe isn't as comfortable in it, where I am extremely comfortable. And I may not be as comfortable in the dirt, and what you can do there, where Chuck is. And so for us, Chuck and I have been on an adventure out and with Kane and Ryan from KMC and a bunch of people, and we've been to the sand together, and we've been everywhere from Oregon, Idaho, Moab, Glamis, Acatia, Mexico.
Arkansas.
I think Chuck and I have done pretty much everywhere. Arkansas, Mud Nats. Yep. Chuck and I played in the mud together. Not in an inappropriate way, I promise. Or at least not on this show.
We'll have to talk about that outside of the context of the show. No, but that is cool, though. I like that because just hearing you say that kind of makes me jealous, because I want to go to some of those places too, man. So I'm glad that you guys are able to go and spend some time together like that, because that's what it's all about at the end of the day, right? Is like we talked with Chuck at the beginning of the show, and that's why he's interested in off-road, because he loves the culture and he loves the family and he loves the atmosphere. And that's why he's started a business that associates him with that. It's super cool that you guys are both doing the same thing.
Well, and I think, if you don't know this about Chuck, Chuck is one of the most genuine, passionate, truly heartfelt guys you'll ever meet in your life. I mean, this guy cares more about his customers and his product and how it works for people more than I've met anybody in my entire life. And you can't say enough good things about him. I mean, it doesn't matter what it is. He goes above and beyond for every customer, every vendor, and he really puts his heart and soul into the product, and it shows. I mean, Chuck will tell you, him and I went to Idaho. We went to Idaho, and we had these people waving us down on the side of the freeway, and I blew a tire, and So we pulled over, and the stacker that we had weighed 25,000 pounds. Whew. And Chuck looked at me, and I'm like, well, we're going to do it one way or another. We were right on the white line. Semi-trucks passing us at 80-plus miles an hour because it's Idaho. And we busted out the Pro Eagle jack and lifted that trailer. It took 2-3 tons. But, I mean, I don't think people really understand the quality of this. Here we are on the side of the freeway, traffic passing us at 80 miles an hour, and we jacked a 25,000-pound stacker up attached to a 45-foot motorhome and literally lifted this thing off the ground, climbing over cars, changed the tire, no issues. Got the whole job done with 2 Pro Eagle jacks. I mean, who else can do that? I mean, that just goes to show.
That's bananas.
It's bananas. Yeah.
That's freaking crazy. Oh, I want to throw a huge shout out to Lucretia. She just commented in a couple times. We kind of missed her because the comments were going by so fast. But she said both of you guys are a big part of her program with the Buggy Whips and the Pro Eagle stuff. And Lucretia's an OG too. So for her to say that really must mean a lot to you guys.
Yeah, definitely. To have, like I said, just like, whatever, Blake Wilkey and the Rugged guys and Russ, to have people that are genuine users of products, genuine abusers of products, and to have them stand behind yours means a lot.
Dude, abusing the products, man. Like lifting up a 25,000-pound freaking stacker trailer. And for anybody that's listening to the show, a stacker trailer is one of the really tall ones that goes behind a motorhome. Like, what are they, 16 feet tall or something crazy? 14 feet tall. And those things you can literally stack 2 cars inside. Like, you could put 2 side-by-sides, one on the bottom and one in the second story. And you guys are lifting that with a Pro Eagle, 2 Pro Eagle 3 tons.
Yeah.
That's freaking bananas, man. That's a good story, Russ.
Yeah.
Russ
right on the side of the freeway. We did it.
Yeah.
Where was it at?
It was on the way to Idaho. We may have been in Idaho or maybe upper Utah or something.
Is that one of those moves where you go to the trailer shop like that same weekend and make sure that you have a spare to drive home?
Yeah.
No, because it ruins the adventure. I mean, I am very much a type A, be prepared, never have anything go wrong, always on time kind of person. I mean, I really like to value myself as this.
He's the exact opposite of
that. I was thinking he was being sarcastic too. I don't know Russ well enough that I was waiting for you to say something. Yeah. But no, I get that though, because we literally we had the same thing happen, not in a stacker, but it was a big race trailer, and we didn't have 2 3-ton jacks. And we drove all the way to Wheatland, Missouri, so we were going all the way across the country, and we blew out 2 tires. Luckily, we had 2 spares, but changing them, because they went out at different times, was the biggest pain in the ass, man. And if we had your product, I would have been able to do it way easier, but we were there for freaking half the day. Yep. And during that same time, the Haugans, great family, were in their stacker. They lost tires as well, and we had to help them. So we had 4 jacks going across, and they wouldn't even hold it up. It was freaking nuts, dude. So, yeah, just hearing your story, it hits home a lot, Russ, with me, and I wish that we had those products at that time.
No, it's a great product, and it's not the first time or the last time I've blown a trailer tire on that stacker, and we've used the jack multiple times.
That's good. So one of the questions that I wanted to ask you was maybe just something that's kind of off the subject of the products and stuff is, when you and Chuck are at one of the dunes or wherever it is, are you guys competitive when you guys get out there and start driving? Because I know that these guys, everybody's the Robbie Gordon of their campsite, right? I'm way faster than you, bro. Does it get that fat, that heated when you guys are out there?
I mean, is any driving not that way? I mean, look, I'm going to make this statement, and people that know me know this statement is very true. I am legitimately the best trophy truck driver ever. And I will say this and open anywhere because I've never driven one. So in my head, I am absolutely the best. And I was telling Justin Lofton and I were laughing about this the other day because I was telling him this out driving. I'm like, dude, literally, I'm the best trophy truck driver ever. And he's like, have you ever driven a trophy? It's true. I mean, I appreciate the award. And I was like, and he's like, he's like, well, what do you mean you're the best trophy truck driver ever? And I'm like, no, legitimately, I'm like, if you give me the keys to your trophy truck, I'll prove it to you. He's like, have you ever driven one? No. So you can't say I'm wrong. And he's like, well, you got me there. I guess I can't say you're wrong because you haven't driven one yet. So.
True statement. That's so funny. That's like the guys that do there is badass sim drivers, but that's like the guys that do the sim racing. They're like, oh yeah, I got that, no problem. I can get in a short course truck and just wax you guys. And you're like, no, it's not the same, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would probably fail miserably. I'm just going to put that out there. But as far as my head is concerned, yeah, I'm the best there ever was. So
dude,
I think we all have competition in that standpoint,
that's
right?
such a legit way to live, though, because he never has to get in a trophy truck for the rest of his life, and he can live this dream.
Claim he's the best, yep.
Dude, that's perfect.
I mean, if somebody out there wants to give me keys to the trophy truck, I am more than willing to show my skills on this matter.
To crush this dream, just to show his skills. Oh, that's perfect. Hey, take me for a ride too. I'll go shotgun.
Hey, why not? Let's have fun. Life is short. You know, if you don't live your life as an adventure, and I think Chuck, you know, I really appreciate what he said, but it's all about being genuine, you know. Respect everybody and really try to have a good time. And I just can't say enough about all the people we meet. I think the funnest thing about Chuck and I is that we do every event together. So there's always a story. We share a lot of the same customers, and it's really Off-Road is a family in whole. You know, you meet all these amazing people. I've never met anybody that's really a jerk in Off-Road. I mean, every single person is amazing and genuine, and they're there to celebrate times with their family. And to me, the greatest thing about Off-Road is you can literally be sitting next to somebody that's worth billions of dollars, and next to them or somebody helping them out has $10 and a dirt bike in the bed of their truck, right?
Yep.
And we're at the same campfire. We're at the same family. We're eating at the same table. There's no division whatsoever in off-road. Pick any other sport you want in the world, and where are you sitting with owners of companies and multi-billionaires and just everyday people riding in the same place? It's the only community in the world where we're all equal when we get out there. So I think the competition and the family love and everything is what just makes this so special and so genuine across the board, is that we all can participate and all have dreams together.
Yeah, dude, I love that he just said all that stuff, because that's literally the same vibe that started the Dirt Life, is that same thing. I want to say hi to Brent Gillian and all the people that are chiming in too. Some of the comments went by too fast, so we couldn't answer everybody's comment or give you guys a shout out. But hey, so you guys have been friends for a long time, but let's get back to talking a little bit about the products here. What are some of your favorite products that Chuck has?
Honestly, I think every one of Chuck's products that he makes. I have 2 of the 3 tons in our stacker. I have his 2-ton on our regular trailer. The cool thing that a lot of people don't know, I actually did it yesterday. I'm massively into lowered cars and bag trucks and things of that nature.
Oh, big lowrider guy over here.
Big lowrider guy.
Big lowrider guy. Chuck will tell you a story. The other day he asked if we were going to go. We were actually on our way to Vegas together. And he's like, hey, can I bring somebody with? I'm like, dude, this is a 1-person car. And he's like, no, it's not. And then he got in there with the other person, and the car literally sat on the ground. He's like, you weren't joking. I'm like, no, literally, it's a 1-person car.
I just see, right now, I forgot what his name is, Vince Vaughn and the other guy in there. You Vegas, baby, Vegas.
we were on our way to the Mint.
John Favreau and Vince Vaughn, yeah.
Yeah, my graphics guy, he lives in Spain, and he came out here, and we were taking him to the Mint 400.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, do we get to ride in the Bronco? And I'm like, no, we're going with Russ from Buggy Whip. And he's like, does he have a cool rig? And just then, Russ comes around the corner in his lowered VW, and he's like, wah, wah.
Oh, wait, here, hold on. I think I have that one.
Exactly. And the 3 of us get in there, and as soon as we turn the corner, the tire's going.
Oh no!
I'm like, are we gonna make it? He's like, yeah, don't worry about it.
Oh, did you strap on a Pro Eagle jack?
I wish I had one. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny, man.
What I was going to say to that effect is Chuck actually, which a lot of people don't even know, and I didn't realize this, is that Chuck actually makes it not a big wheel jack. He makes a fantastic regular garage jack that's low to the ground.
Dude, I'm glad that you brought that up, because I was going to actually bring up a picture of this thing, because Chuck sent us a picture of one of these bad boys that was, I think, made for the Mint 400.
Yeah.
Dude, this thing is sick. All golded out. That thing is so cool looking, man.
100%.
They don't all look like
it's
that.
rad.
No, I know, but what's that jack called?
So we actually made those for the Met 400 pit crew competition for the winners. They
Yeah?
were part of the prizes.
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
What's that jack called? Like what product?
The OG.
The OG? Okay. All right, Russ, sorry for interrupting you.
No. But I think that's the point. And Chuck actually and I were talking about this earlier. You know, when you start a company or you build these products, I'm guilty of it as well. And you build these products and you start out maybe trying to fit one demographic or one person. And then what you find is you go, oh, well, the big wheel's taken off, so I go over here. But Chuck has really a product for anybody. And I mean, it just goes to show the variety of Pro Eagle and what they can do and where they can go. I mean, from the lowest of lows to the highest of highs, they make a product for you. And what other company can do that where they really outfit everything from air jacks to big wheel jacks to just regular jacks? I mean, it's part of a testament to how professional and how far Chuck wants to take his company. It's pretty amazing, in all honesty.
Yeah, well, and one thing that I learned throughout this show is I did a bunch of research, and I obviously checked out all the products that that Chuck offers because I was looking at the website. But as I was going through it, and as I'm listening to Chuck now, like I see that there's a fit for more than just one of the products. Like I obviously want to have one of the big wheel jacks so I can keep it in the car and so I can help out, you know, when we're going out to the desert or having fun and stuff. But I would put the OG in the house 100%, and I would also have something that's strapped to my UTV, like the Phoenix DS right here. Like, so there's multiple things that I could use them for, and I didn't really understand that until I did the research. So I'm glad that we're having the show so we can talk about all this stuff.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he just makes a product for everything. And my big question for Chuck, and I've been meaning to ask him this for a long time. So I actually used his original OG jack the other day without the big wheels on it, and it still made that Pro Eagle noise. Click, 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 click. And I think it actually is something that he has patented. I don't know if it's like a certain rattle or if he spent time, but if you're at a trade show, I mean, what other product in the world can you actually hear somebody like miles away just rolling down the street, and you know it's a Pro Eagle jack coming?
That's so cool.
I mean, think about that. Like if you were in like a bad scenario, and here comes like this tweaker or homeless guy rolling down the street with his Pro Eagle jack, you'd be like, yes, like it's this noise of like just happiness. Like he's here to save me. My angel is here.
That's hilarious. I will follow that up real quick. I'll let you go just a sec, Chuck, but I will follow it up by saying I would say that the Polaris 1000, when it first came out, you can still hear those OG ones because they always squeak.
Yeah.
Always. 100%.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a Polaris going down the road.
We were at the Baja 1000 2 or 3 years ago helping Matt Burrows and a friend of mine, and we're laying in the back of this truck waiting for Mac to get there. We're in the Bay of LA. We've been there for a day, and you know it's probably 2 o'clock in the morning, and a pit crew comes in. So we're laying in the back of the truck, can't see anything or whatever, got sleeping bags and blankets and stuff, trying to stay warm. Truck pulls up, and they're getting ready to pit their car, and they pull a jack out, and I sit up instantly, and my friend's like, what's going on? I'm like, they just unloaded a Pro Eagle jack. I go to take a picture.
I got to get out there.
Yeah. He's like, how do you know? I'm like, I can hear it. It's a certain sound. I know it.
That's so cool. And you probably never knew that was going to come. It's just one of those things that comes. Hey, we're going to wind down the show, so I know you had a couple questions for Chuck that you wanted to ask as well, but let's do rapid-fire Q&A real quick, and we can get that out of the way before you ask Chuck whatever it is that you were going to ask him. But how about we let Russ go first and you go second, Chuck? Is that cool?
Sure.
All right, Russ, tacos or hot dogs?
Tacos.
Both of you guys going tacos? Whew, I didn't know. Chicken or asada?
Asada.
I'm going to go chicken.
Yeah, we know Chuck likes chicken. He ordered the chicken tacos today, too. Dunes or the river, Russ?
Dunes.
How about you, Chuck? Where are you going?
I'd go dunes. I love the dunes. I just don't like Glamis when all the people are out there.
Oh, so you're going on an off weekend?
There you go.
Right on. Action shots or still shots?
You know what? It really depends. I'll do still on this one.
Yeah, I guess because you guys are probably both going to be still shot guys, right? No?
I love still shots, but unfortunately the video is where it's at right now.
Yeah, so that's a question that's coming up here. Three-wheeler or quad?
Three-wheeler.
Both you guys going death machines. I didn't think that was – I thought one of you guys
were
going to pick one
up riding the three-wheeler Yamaha three-wheeler, big balloon tires, no shocks.
Oof, that had to be hard on your kidneys, dude.
I loved it.
Let's see. Pizza rolls or jalapeno poppers?
Pizza rolls.
Pizza rolls for sure.
Both you guys.
Jalapeno poppers burn my stomach.
I was gonna. Well, pizza rolls burn the top of your mouth.
Yeah, that's true.
Coffee or tea?
Neither. Diet Coke all the way.
Oh, big Diet Coke guy over
He's
here.
a huge Diet Coke. He probably keeps them in business.
Really?
Yeah.
So if you want to get sponsored by Buggy Whips, you know what product to get him?
Yeah.
I drink 30 plus cans of Diet Coke a day. I'm not joking either.
How are you alive?
See, he's never had COVID though, so he thinks that it's a Diet Coke that's keeping him alive.
Dude, maybe.
Yeah.
Dude, that's crazy. What about you? Coffee or tea?
Tea for sure. I don't like coffee.
Yeah, big tea guy over here too. Favorite movie?
Batman Dark Knight.
Whoa, that's intense, dude.
He's a Batman guy.
What about your favorite movie, Chuck?
Huge Batman guy.
You know what? I would have said Dust to Glory, but have you seen Desert Set Dance?
No, what's that?
Oh, you got to see it. It's a motorcycle movie about the Baja 1000, and it is the two guys.
I'm writing it down right now.
Yeah, so the guy used to ride a Honda, and he fell, had some injuries, and his comeback was, he formed his own team with some buddies, and they went and raced the Baja 1000.
No way.
It is awesome. It in my opinion.
Where do you watch it at?
It was in the movie theaters, and it's like a limited release, but it's coming back to LA. I saw the schedule the other day.
Oh, but can you go on like YouTube and see it or no?
No, only in theaters so far.
Okay. Well, I'm going to have to check it out. Dude, that's a good one. I would love seeing movies like that, especially when they're, we use independent the right word, like whatever it is, and they're small like that. I love supporting people. Instagram or Facebook?
Instagram.
Instagram. I'm on it all day long.
Yeah, dude, it takes over your life after a while, right? Russ, if you had one superpower, what would it be?
Oh, man. Fly.
You going fly? A lot of people pick fly.
Yeah.
A lot of people pick that. What are you going, Chuck?
Luck.
Luck?
Luck.
Is that a superpower?
It is. Ask Domino.
Yeah, I guess that's a good story. Good point, right? Netflix or YouTube?
YouTube.
Yeah, same.
Netflix.
Yeah, Netflix does have some pretty fire stuff out lately. Videos or photos?
Videos.
Let's let Jason answer too. Yell from the top of your lungs. Videos or photos, Jason? Jason's going photos, dude.
Yeah, he's a big photo guy.
Big photo guy.
Again, I love photos, but videos are where it's at right now.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
Videos, reels, man, reels.
Yep.
Most memorable race.
Probably the Baja 500 with Adrian. The first time I ever got in a race car with him, it was really a memorable experience.
Did he flip it over? Because he's known for turtling.
He is known for that, but luckily, whenever I'm in the car, he hasn't done it yet.
Okay, thank goodness. All right, Chuck, what's your most memorable race, bud?
San Felipe 250 was my first win. We came into the pits probably 60-something miles to go and needed fuel, and my corner reached in and he says, "There's 60 miles left, and you have 50 minutes to get there before the finish closes."
Crap!
So we were on a mission, and we made it, and we won. So.
Dude, that's nuts. So were you guys pushing it really hard?
We were. There was plenty of times. There was once where we were in the air so long that I think my co-driver could have made me a sandwich while we were.
It felt forever.
Riding. Yeah. So.
Dude,
yeah.
that's crazy. That's a good story, though, man. You know what just made me think about it, Russ, is we got to have Chuck doing like an industry insider thing where we can just talk about racing stuff. Let's see here.
That's for sure.
Favorite snack. Let's do it. Turn it a little bit. Favorite snack inside a car, like when you're traveling.
Gummy bears.
Whoa, look at this guy. Diet Coke and gummy bears, the way to Russ's heart.
Yeah.
All right, Chuck, what are you taking on your trips when you're going traveling across country?
I don't know. I don't know if I have a go-to.
Beef jerky, Lay's potato. No, not Lay's.
Maybe
Pringles.
Snickers, maybe Snickers.
Oh, Snickers?
Yeah.
So I was just talking with Amber, Rob McCachran's girlfriend, and she was showing me the stuff that she's packing for them when they go Baja pre-running. It looks delicious, dude. Yeah. Big.
They know how to pack for racing, though. That's
for
sure.
Dude, yeah. And Rob McCachran, big Reese's guy.
Really?
Reese's guy. Yeah. Let's see here. Oh, this one's probably good for you guys. Do you guys pay attention to two-wheel racing at all? Like dirt bikes?
Oh, yeah.
How about you, Russ?
Yes.
Supercross or
Yes.
Supercross or motocross? Because the first national is at Palo this weekend.
Motocross. Let's do motocross.
Yeah, he just likes the gnarliness of motocross.
He's actually a big MotoGP guy.
Oh, MotoGP guy.
Yeah.
Ooh, so he's the
Huge
bougie guy.
MotoGP fan.
Dude, bougie guy over here. Big F1 guy too, or no?
He is, yeah.
Yeah. Dude.
Yeah.
So now he just has to figure out how to fit whips on MotoGP and F1 cars.
Yeah, right.
There you go. How about you, Chuck? Supercross or motocross?
Supercross.
All right, here. Oh, what other form of racing would you guys like to try? What you go first, Russ?
MotoGP.
Oh, there you go. I guess that was kind of an easy one,
Yeah,
right? Yeah, and I always preface this by saying, like, you can do speedboat racing. You can do whatever you want. Monster trucks, whatever.
For me, probably drift.
Drift?
Yeah.
Oh, because you went to that one event, so now you're hooked, huh?
Yeah, actually, I used to work for Maxxis Tires. I was a marketing manager for them, so Maxxis was big in drift.
Oh, really?
So I've been around it for a while, but I like it.
Okay, so I guess this question follows that up. Speedboats or dragsters?
Drags.
Drags, for sure.
Dragsters, for sure.
Because you can use Pro Eagle jacks. Yeah,
There
I
you
got
go.
it. All right, the final question of the night in the rapid fire Q&A is chips and guacamole or French fries and ketchup?
Chips and guacamole.
Chips and guacamole for me, too. I get so full off of that, I'd hardly have dinner afterwards.
So I can just see this party happening. I mean, there's a bunch of Diet Coke. There's chips and guacamole. We got, like, Netflix and YouTube. We got a bunch of video being filmed. Like, this party is just getting off the chain right now.
Yep.
All right.
That's the inside of Russ's RV at KOH just about every day, too.
There you go. Perfect, right? All right. So I missed out on it in 2022. Maybe in 2023 I'll get in on that party.
Bring your jacket. It doesn't
That's
matter if
it.
it's snowing outside. He keeps his RV at 22 degrees.
I freeze, too. Maybe I'll have to wear an Eskimo outfit.
Yeah.
Right on, man. Well, I appreciate you coming on, Russ. You have anything else that you wanted to talk with Chuck? Yeah, who drinks Diet Coke? Steve Bouchard just said, right? Do you have anything else that you wanted to talk with Chuck about?
I was just hoping Chuck would really show us the Phoenix DS kit. Like, show us, maybe unbox it and show us kind of what it's about. It's one of the only jacks I don't have, and I'd like to really see how that product works.
Yeah, sounds good to me, man.
It was actually that extra accessory that we were talking about on the way here, right?
Yeah, exactly. I know that you did some changes to it and things like that, and so I'm really curious to see what it looks like.
Yeah. I'm gonna have Jen bring the box over. There's a box right there on the top of that.
Okay, we'll have her bring it over here real quick.
Sorry, Lowell, in the moment. That's
Yeah, no, it's all
that
good, man.
Plastic case.
I like seeing new stuff.
Yeah. Yep.
I appreciate you coming on and hanging out with us, Russ. It was really cool to.
Yeah. Come here.
No, I really appreciate the invite. It's been pretty incredible to see.
Yeah. Here. Let me open that one. Would you do me the honor of being Miss Pro Eagle, Jenny?
Look at that. Holy cow, man.
Yes, you can.
I don't know if you guys can hear it, but she's about to start tearing up right now.
Me too.
Holy cow, man. Congratulations, dude.
Congratulations.
Holy smokes. That's a first for the Dirt Life. That's for dang sure. Hey, will you?
That's awesome! Congratulations.
For some of the people that are just listening to the show on the audio, man, super cool. Chuck was just able to propose to Jen. That was so cool. Would you mind bringing up a chair over here? I got a pair of headphones for you, Jen, right here, so Jen can talk to us. Man, dude, what a first for the Dirt Life. That was awesome, Chuck. Hey.
Yeah, thank you.
Hey, let me just say, first of all, Russ, I think you'll agree with me. Thank God she said yes. Let's pass it over here. But
we did talk about that on the way here today. He's like, what are you going to do if she says no? I'm like, I don't think that she's going to say no.
So for anybody that doesn't know, you guys have been dating for, what, 4 years now?
4 years, yeah.
4 years now?
Yeah.
Is that right, Jen?
Well, it feels like more than that.
Put the mic a little closer to
okay.
your face there. But yeah, so congratulations. That is awesome.
Thank you.
Could I see it? Like, how does it look? Dude, look at that bad boy. You're more than welcome to show it to the people on the camera over there.
Which one do I? There's like
Yeah, there's one over there and there's one right here too. See that one up there?
There's
That thing is
right
pretty. You can still tell she's still nervous.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So today has been a pretty good day, I guess, right? So you got tacos. You got to see your man up here on the Dirt Life show. You got to hang out at Four Wheel Parts.
Yeah.
And now you're a little bit nervous. Are you still like, I don't know. Like, how do you feel?
I don't know.
A week ago, she's like, why do you want me to come with you? I'm like, just come, please. And then 2 days ago, she's like, do you still need me to go to the show? I'm like, yes, please.
Oh, you're trying to bail out.
Yeah. And even today, this morning, she's like, hey, do you really need me to go? Because I'm going to have to call out a sick. I'm like, yes, I want you to go. Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool, though.
Well, he always asks me to go to stuff, and I usually try to, but this time, normally he drops it. He'll just say, can you go? Can you not go? And if I can't, he's like, oh, okay, well, maybe next time. And then he just kept pushing it. I'm like, there's no reason for
You didn't suspect anything?
I thought it was a little weird because normally he doesn't push for it. So I'm like, what, why do you, I don't know. So it makes sense.
That's a good surprise, though.
Yeah.
That's such a good, like, because no matter what happens at a surprise, it's so easy to get spoiled because you have to push so hard, right?
Yeah.
And you were busy at work, obviously. You were even working on your computer right here watching the show. Like, you had to get so much stuff done.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, man. And for Russ, for you to be able to see them do that kind of stuff, like, I know that you weren't here. You probably wish you could have been, but it was probably pretty special for you, too, knowing them for so long.
Yeah, they make obviously an amazing couple, and they really love each other. And I obviously sliding into her DMs worked for Charles, and
It goes full circle,
he
man.
Can play that song. It goes. Yeah, he could play that song. It goes down in the DM at his wedding.
Oh, great. Oh, it's going to be so funny, man. That is cool, though. And the funny thing is, though, is like Jesse Nelson as well. He actually slid into Emily's DMs.
Oh, really?
And, they're married now, too. It's funny because, like, we always joke about that, sliding into your DMs, but that's, like, a natural way for things to happen nowadays. It's, like, crazy, right? Yeah. But I'm glad, like, it's been a long time that you guys have been together, and I'm really happy for you guys.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's definitely been a long time. It's longer for her than it has been for me, I'm sure. So.
Hey, so firing the question back at Chuck, were you nervous?
Oh, very much so, yes. Yeah. The whole time I'm leading up to it, I'm like, how are we going to do this? How are we going to do this?
Well, and then did you have to ask Russ for help or what?
Yeah. Actually, he threw out a lot of the ideas.
Dude, because that was a pretty solid move with the whole case.
Yep.
Did
That
you
was
know?
actually Russ's idea.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Did you have to buy like the whole foam piece and like put it in there?
Actually, I had that one already. So
that's a lot of work, dude. Hell yeah, you put all that together.
Yeah, I was kind of like, what's new?
When did you decide that you were going to do this? Because that's kind of crazy that you were gone for the whole weekend. You got to think about it. Like that's like, I don't know. I feel like I would have gotten really nervous.
I was. I couldn't sleep last night at all. I had, like I said, I had to leave at 3 o'clock this morning, but it didn't matter. I was already awake. I didn't sleep at all. So,
dude, and knowing him so well, Jen, like, how did you not know something was going on?
I just thought it was weird. I mean, we've been talking about it for a while, and it just became more heavier topic for us, getting closer and closer. Just because, I mean, 4 years isn't.
Well, like what kind of talk though?
It wasn't a topic. It was, are you going to marry me or not?
Yeah.
Oh, whoa!
It was a topic.
Russ, this sounds pretty serious over here.
He's like, okay, I did my job. Time to go.
I got it. Oh man, well, I'm really stoked for you guys. Congratulations, that's super cool, and I'm glad that we were able to all share that moment with you. Does both of your guys' families live close or?
Mine is close there in Ukaipa. Hers is all the way out in Arkansas. That's why I thought, like, it'd be cool because then it'll be recorded and her family could watch, and her family hopefully is actually watching right now. So.
Dang, Arkansas, all the way in Arkansas.
My parents. I was born and raised here in Orange County, and but now everyone's kind of gone their own way. So I have family in Colorado, and my mom and dad went out to Arkansas. So we're just kind of all over the place now.
Dude, that's crazy. Well, hopefully I can cut the video and send it to you guys. So if you guys want to see it again, and then obviously Jason Dusty Summit is going to be able to capture some of these images for you guys too. But congratulations, that's super cool. One thing that I wanted to ask though was like, because you just said that you guys were talking about it, like when are you going to get this done? You son of a gun! Like, so is that like a little bit of a weight lifted?
Yes. it's kind of just, like I said, we're talking about it. And so, but you can never really prepare for it. Like, I think you have to wait for the moment. And then when it happens, it's like, Yeah.
That's crazy, man. Well, I'm so stoked for you guys. I really am. It's so neat that you guys were able to do it. And thank you guys for showing everybody through the Dirt Life show, too. It's super cool. So, all right. How about the last question of the rapid fire for you, Jen? Chips and guacamole or French fries and ketchup?
Oh, guacamole and chips for sure.
All day?
Yeah.
Perfect. You guys are the perfect couple then. That matches up perfect. Hey, Russ, thank you very much for being able to hang out with us. I'm glad that you guys were able to communicate back and forth and share that moment together. I know you guys are really good friends. So.
Yeah, thanks, Russ.
For sure. And congratulations to all you guys, and congratulations, Chuck and Den, and we're excited to see the next adventure in life.
It will be pretty cool.
Thank you, Russ.
Maybe a special flag on the Buggy Whips that says "Just Married."
Yeah, there you go. Can you do that, Russ?
Done. We'll make it happen.
Yeah. Well, when's Coos Bay? You can just put "Just Married" on there and just go up there.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's
I
a
gotta
little quick.
start. I
Come
gotta
on now.
start thinking
Slow
on
down.
all this stuff.
Whoa, look, yeah. Okay, I think I might have overwhelmed them here. Well, thanks, Russ. We really appreciate it, man. And hey, one of these days,
Thanks, guys.
let's kind of keep it together, and one of these days we'll have you on the show when we can.
Appreciate it. It'd be really fun. Looking forward to it.
All right, homie. We'll see you later, and thanks again for all your help.
Thanks, Russ.
Thanks, bud. Talk to you guys later.
We'll
Bye.
see ya.
Yep. Bye.
Man, that's so cool. Like, honestly, like I feel kind of overwhelmed right now because like I don't know what to do on the show next because I'm so pumped for you guys.
That's why I'm like, can we save it till last, because I know it's going to derail everything.
So it's crazy, but dude, congratulations. That's awesome. Like, that's so cool. Now, do you guys get to ride home in the same vehicle together?
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
Okay, good. They get to spend a little bit of time together and like decompress after the show,
Yeah.
right? All right. Well, we really appreciate all of you guys hanging out with us tonight. Man, everybody's got stuff. Oh, here. Why don't we can you let Brent in, Cowboy Deluxe in? And we'll talk with him right before, because I'm sure that he wants to say something nice to you
Yeah.
guys,
Let's
too.
see what
So,
he has to say.
yeah, and G1 Products said that they will proudly support the flags, the Just Married flag.
There you go.
Brent, what's up, dude?
Congratulations!
Dude, how rad is that?
Congratulations, guys!
Hi.
Thank you.
Dude, that was seriously the coolest show I've ever seen, bro. Chuck, you're a pimp. I love you, Chuck. You're a pimp. Jen, keep him honest. George, great show. I was shocked right now. I was literally texting Taylor. I'm like, turn it on. Look at this.
Oh, so I was gonna ask, because I thought I might have to like trick Chuck into like or trick Jen, like if she got like a little bit word. I was gonna say, hey Chuck, what kind of like little snippet should we take out of this show like this week so we could promote it on social media? But I already knew the answer, so I was like, oh shit.
Congratulations, you two. I love you guys. One of my
Thank
favorite
you.
couples right there.
Thank
Yeah,
you, Brent.
thanks, Brett. We'll see you.
Great show, man. Great show.
Thanks, homie. We'll get you on the show soon. We'll see you later.
Sounds good, brother. I'll talk to you.
We'll see you.
Bye. Thank you.
So that's probably going to happen a million times over the next couple weeks, right? But yeah, congratulations to you guys. We really appreciate that you guys did that on the show, and it's cool to see such a long relationship moving to the next level. So I'm stoked for you guys.
Yeah, I like it. Like I said, the off-road industry brought us together, so I wanted to do it here. You know, I was trying to think of how to do it, and then when this opportunity to be on the show, I thought, you know what, I'll do it the off-road way.
That's super cool, man.
Yeah, I think that's the thing that made us the most compatible, is that we can, what was it you said in the beginning? I was like, well, because I was a Jeeper. And so he was like, well, if you put up with the racing, I'll put up with your Jeep stuff. So we just kind of talked about both ends of off-road together. And yeah.
Was that a struggle for a little bit or no?
No, not really. Because I told him, like, well, it's not a struggle it might have been a struggle for him because he's not like a Jeep guy. But I'm like, I grew up in,
She scared the crap
Who
out of
drives though? Because she drove then?
I'm a crawler. He's a racer. So.
Oh, I got it.
Yeah.
Big KOH girl over here.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of Jeep are you driving?
Well, I had my four-door Wrangler, and then now I
Can
have
you
the Bronco.
let Ruslan come in too real quick? Yeah, so we're probably going to have so many people trying to join. We will end the show in just a little bit here, guys. So please keep the comments coming in. Yeah, so DFO Motorsports just said, yeah, so pumped for you guys. Ruslan, what's up?
Hi, Ruslan.
Yo, what's up?
I like the hair, homie.
Yeah.
Thank you. I kind of just let it grow out.
Right on. It's not as long as it was when you first time you came on the show. Hey, did you just see what happened?
No, I didn't.
So you just wanted to come on for no reason. That's still cool, though. Hey, but
Ruslan and I are buddies, so it's cool.
So you want to know a secret?
What's up?
They're getting married.
No way! Congratulations.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
it just happened. Like literally just happened. You're gonna have to hit rewind, dude.
Oh, really? Like just now?
Like 2 seconds ago.
Oh my God! Wow.
You're late, dude.
Congratulations.
You missed it.
I was too late. A little earlier. No, that's awesome.
Hey, so we really appreciate you coming on. Just throw a shout out or tell us what you got going so we can bail out because we got to get this show done. 4 Parts is closing, homie.
Yo, perfect. It was good to see you guys, and congratulations, you both.
Thank you.
Dude, that's so funny. Jason, will you just see who else is left in there? Later, Ruslan. And then we'll get on. Do you know either of those people? Because I don't know who
The
they are.
top one's my sister.
Okay. You want to let her in?
Sure.
All right.
If she's going to be nice.
Uh-oh. We'll see what she has to say. What's your sister's name?
Megan.
All right. We'll see what Megan has to say
She's
here.
one of my only siblings I have left in Orange County.
Hi.
Hi,
Megan.
I'm Jennifer's older sister, but I look very much younger.
Oh, I get it. Yeah, that's the way it goes, right?
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And welcome to the family. I hope you're ready.
Uh-oh. Does that mean Chuck has big shoes to
He knows
fill?
what he's getting into.
Yeah,
he knows what
knows.
he's getting into.
Uh-oh.
Maybe that's he's like, did
Actually-
I want to?
I was actually watching the whole show today, and I text Jenny. I'm like, this is the most I've ever heard Chuck talk.
He's doing a really good job because Chuck usually just talks about what he needs to and just really, short and sweet.
Yeah.
So I'm like stoked that he was like opening up and doing it on the show. That was pretty cool. So who knows now? Maybe
I've
now-
learned.
Go ahead.
No, I've learned a lot about Chuck. Now I know to feed him just chips and guac. Like we're good, and I'm just hoping that's going to be the appetizer at the wedding. So.
I'm perfect. Yeah, you know that they're compatible because they can live off chips and guac.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I don't know if you realize it, but I deserve a lot of credit for giving you a quesadilla in this environment.
Yes, this is true.
just want to make sure that you knew how much effort I put into this.
Yes. That was a clue, right? I should have known.
Yeah, quesadillas. Oh, something's going on. This is getting weird. Well, thanks.
She was like, Chuck gave me a shot before we went. And she was like, it's a Monday, bro.
Are you serious?
She's like, what are we toasting to? I'm like, just today.
I'm like, okay.
I'm back. I just made it home from Arizona. We're good. Let's have a shot.
Probably.
That's hilarious. Well, thanks for chiming in, Megan. We really appreciate it, and I'm sure that you guys are going to have a million conversations coming up this week too.
For sure. Absolutely. Congratulations.
Thank you.
It's awesome. Thanks for chiming in. We're going to see. Do you want to answer a couple more, or you want to get going?
Sure.
Yeah. All right. Let's.
Do we have a lot of people?
Well, that's Luke.
My
That's
sister.
Lucas, and then
Sister and Lucas.
all right. Let's do sister first, and then Lucas second. Sorry, Lucas. We got to let the ladies go first. Man, we're probably going to be here till like 9 or 10 o'clock tonight. Like this is going to get crazy, right? Jason, did you reserve the whole rest of your night for the Dirt Life show, dude? I don't know. She might have bailed out, dude, because it's not coming up. So we can get Lucas on here. Sometimes when they bail out, it still has their thing on the request. So we'll have to see. But maybe we'll get Lucas on here as well.
Big Rob Mac fan.
Big Rob Mac. Lucas, what's up, buddy? Lucas Boxo Tools.
What's happening? Congrats. About damn time.
Thank you, sir.
How are you guys tonight?
It took him long enough or what?
Yeah. I figured they just eloped when they went on that cruise.
That's what everybody thought.
Well, it sounds like Jen's going to start planning all kinds of cool stuff.
Oh, I'm ready.
Oh, she's already planning.
All right. Just as long as there's tacos and guac, we're good at the wedding. We're all
Okay,
good.
that's a given. I guess we're having chips and guac.
Yeah, chips and guac sounds like it's a staple for you guys.
We're going to pass it down the aisle. Instead of a flower girl, we're going to have someone passing out chips and guac.
Can I request maybe
Nice.
some quesadillas for the appetizers
There
too?
you go. Yeah.
Guac with quesadillas. I'm into that. Hey, thanks for chiming in and hanging out. Just to tell them congratulations. I appreciate that, dude. But thank you for everything that you guys do for the Dirt Life show as well.
You got it, buddy. You guys have a good night.
Later, Lucas.
Lucas.
Yeah. All right, let's see who the last one is, Jason, and then we'll. There she goes. We'll try to see. Try to see if we can get her on here. Oh, one other thing too is that like if people don't have their Instagram app updated, it's like totally blows. So. Oh, there we go.
Oh, there she is.
All right, what's your sister's name?
Samantha.
Sam.
Hi, Samantha.
Shit, if I had known that this was going to happen, I would have looked a little bit nicer tonight.
Well, it's good to meet you virtually. What do you think?
Congratulations, you guys. Like they said, it took long enough.
Everybody keeps saying it took long enough. Yeah. Is that why you were getting
right?
Is that why you were being like, dude, like shit or get off the pot?
Yeah, I was like, I thought I was just overreacting. Everyone's like, about damn time. I think as we're just
4 years is not that long. Come on.
Charles.
I think my husband and I met through racing, through Chuck, through sponsorships, and we got married 3 years ago.
Oh.
And we've been together as long as you guys have, so it's about damn time.
Yes.
Yeah, so I can see where the girls are coming from here, Chuck. Yeah. So, well, hey, we don't have to worry about talking about it anymore because the deal's done.
Yep.
Right?
I can't run now.
Yeah, they can't.
Now we just need to throw the best party there ever was.
Yeah, right.
Oh, this sounds like it's going to be awesome. Dude, we just talked about parties, so there's going to be a lot of Diet Coke, there's going to be a lot of chips and guacamole, and now Sam is going to bring in all of her, like, interest in the party. This thing is going to be off the chain.
Yep.
Some gummy bears.
Oh, jeez, dude.
Oh, yeah.
I could just see all the sugar minus the Diet Cokes.
My gosh.
Well, yeah, congratulations to the happy new couple, right?
Yeah. Mom's watching, by the way.
Cool.
So she got to see it, too.
I made sure I messaged her. I'm like, hey, you need to watch the show today, but she didn't ask why.
Mom goes on Instagram?
Facebook.
Oh, Facebook. Okay,
Yeah.
So she's over here.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. We didn't see any comments come in, but I don't know if it's broken or what it's doing.
She probably doesn't know how to do that.
Yeah, that's all right, though.
Oh, yeah. She definitely doesn't know how to do that part.
Yeah.
That's okay, though. Mom at least got to see it visually, right? Yeah. Dude, that's so cool. And plus, usually it doesn't happen live. Usually it's like a after-the-moment thing that happens on Instagram or gets shared, right?
Yeah.
Dang, dude, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Did you think that, like, so you didn't know about it? Do you think Chuck was nervous? Because, like, I kind of saw him, like, a little bit nervous, like.
He's looked nervous the entire time.
That's the way it is.
Dude, you look terrified.
Do you think it was because of the show, or do you think it was because of what he was thinking about?
Well, now that I know, it was because of the proposal.
Oh, okay. So he was just using the show, like getting through it, and then all of a sudden, like now he probably feels fully comfortable.
Yeah.
Yup.
Oh, great. I can't wait for the wedding. So it sounds like it's happening tomorrow.
Oh,
Yeah.
jeez.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Well, thank you very much for chiming in, Sam. I really appreciate it.
Hi,
Congrats,
thank you.
you guys.
Thank you.
All right. So, hey, we got one more. Let's just check and see who it is, and then we'll dip out and close out the show. You guys know Zach Decker? All right. All right. We're going to, yeah, maybe a fake one. We're going to close out the show. So, like I said, congratulations, both of you guys. It's super cool, man.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for letting me do it on the show.
Whew, that's intense, dude. All right. So, thank you guys very much for joining us. I kind of want to ask another rapid fire. Okay, here we go. If you had to, we're playing the matchmaker game where you have to tell something about Chuck. Mm-hmm. Let's see here. What kind of question could I ask here? All right. If you have to get a burrito for Chuck and he's too busy to answer a text on what burrito he wants, what burrito are you getting him? BRC? Mm-hmm. All day? Yeah, so she knows you're good. Yeah. Good call, man. That's all you really need to know. I don't think there's any other questions that need to be answered, right?
Yeah. What kind of food?
Yeah, exactly. Manny boy, dude, we got to close out the show, man. I'm sorry I can't get to
Manny,
you. You want to talk to him real
yes,
quick? Okay.
Manny.
We'll talk to Manny real quick then.
Manny, your exception.
Miss Pro Eagle, they just claimed it. Sundance said, uh-oh.
I guess it's official, right?
You got Mr. Pro Eagle and Miss Pro Eagle. Now you're going to have to get stickers. On the back, I see on the back of the Jeep, like the two stickers. Manny, what's up, dude?
Hi, Manny.
Chuck, did you just propose?
I sure did.
Oh, I missed it.
Dude!
What's up with that? You didn't watch my show?
Ruslan and Manny both missed it, dude. Yeah. We need a rewind feature on Instagram Live.
100%. 100%. I got on and I was like, wait a minute, why are all these people getting on at the same time? And it was just getting all these people on my notifications. I was like, oh, something happened. Well, Chuck and Jen, congratulations, guys, and
thank you,
hope to see you guys soon.
Dude, it's so rad, man. I'm pumped, Manny, just to see these guys. And Chuck was shitting bricks right now is what I heard.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been able to do the show knowing what you had to do at the end of it, pal. Good job.
Yeah. None of the racing that I've done thus far was this intimidating, that's for sure.
This was the hardest, most nervous Chuck has ever been. Hey, so kudos to him for being able to pull it off then.
Yeah.
Dude. Wait, so I have a question then. Did you scope out how I had things laid out and how the store was, so you knew where you were gonna do it?
Yeah, that's why I put the box over there behind.
You had everything planned, dude. Look at this guy, dude.
That's why he's coming down to Mexico with us, because that's the planner right there.
Oh, logistical genius.
Right there.
All right, thanks, homie. Really appreciate it.
Right on, dude. I'll see you guys later.
Bye guys. All right.
Bye, Jen. Bye, Chuck.
Bye.
All right. So we got to close out the show. Sorry if you guys are trying to log on, but we really appreciate everybody for hanging out with us. You can always visit the sponsor deals page on. Actually, you know what? We're not even doing any of that. Congratulations again, dude. So awesome. Thank you guys both for sharing that special moment with us. We really appreciate it. Next week we have the Vision Canopy guys. Thank you to everybody at Four Wheel Parts for having us. It was awesome that they were allowing us to do this here, and I didn't tell anybody. I didn't blow the secret. So until today, I actually told Marcus over here. So, but yeah, thank you guys very much for sharing that special moment with us. Really appreciate it. I'm sure you guys are going to share this and congratulate them after the show too. Thank you to everybody that watched the show. Thank you to Jason for doing all the videography and film. Really appreciate that, capturing this special moment for these two. All right, we really appreciate you guys living your dirt life with us. You got anything else before we bail?
No.
All right. We'll see you guys next week. Good night.
Thanks for listening to The Dirt Life Show. See you next week.